Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT Podcast episode. Very little news coming at you.
I forgot to check the episode number 2. You're not alone.
Now we have a very stacked podcast because there has been almost no news that anyone cares about, but we have gone through a lot of content in the last 3 weeks, so we have a lot of content to discuss. But who's discussing that content? On my right.
It's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
And on my left.
Just Tyler.
I thought there was going to be more there. And across.
Hi, I'm Aiden, the amazing AIDS.
It's formal introductions this week. This is phenomenal.
So, like I said, we have very little news in this here episode 136 of the podcast. Totally new.
Jesus.
But we do have some news. Friedman, as the
Let's
resident
go.
lover
Let's
of the
talk
franchise-
about Smash Brothers. Let's fucking go.
Oh God, Jesus. Oh goodness.
So,
oh Lord.
the final hype day has occurred. What has been like 3 weeks since the last episode?
Yep.
In the last 3 weeks, Nintendo did a direct, and they opened the direct with saying, first and foremost, we'll talk about Smash on October 5th, so shut the fuck up. And everyone's like, oh man, now we gotta listen to real Nintendo news, which was pretty decent. We
I
got
wonder
like
how many viewers dropped off of that direct in that 2
Probably.
minutes after.
Probably a good chunk. Like, they open with, we're having a Smash Direct, and we're also having a separate Animal Crossing Direct, so everyone shut the fuck up. We're here to talk about other games. And everyone's just like, really? Fine. What do you got? So, before we get to Smash, I don't remember a lot of the Direct, but I do remember they announced a new it seems like an open world, post-apocalyptic Kirby game, which I never thought I'd say in a sentence. So, Nintendo's still throwing us some curveballs left and right. I'm excited.
Wow.
But more importantly, October 5th. Smash. Final character. Sakurai's hyping up that this is his final announcement about characters in Smash Ultimate. This is his final time addressing the audience. Development is done. Honestly, kind of sad to hear it happening. Sakurai starts by going in depth about who the new Mii fighter costumes are going to be.
Yo,
And
can
everyone
I
was
just
joking.
swerve in? Doom Guy was actually hysterical. They started playing the music in the background during that direct.
Everyone was joking around about how the Mii costumes, they're just deconfirmation of who the final Smash character is. So when Doom Guy showed, a lot of people were like, damn, Doom Guy's not really in
That's not the
Smash.
player.
But it was fun watching Sakurai be like on some shows like, oh, I hear rumors you can play Doom on any computer, and he just like smirks at the camera.
Damn. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Dude,
then
watching
yeah.
that direct is hilarious because in the background, whenever he makes a joke, you hear all the film staff laughing along from the studio.
Yes, he figured out like the perfect recipe for the Smash Directs. But he goes and he starts up the trailer with the final character, and it picks up exactly where the launch trailer for Smash left off, which is very weird because it just feels like, what has it been like 4 or 5 years since then? It just does not feel like it. But then trailer opens, the Smash logo is still burning from the original trailer, and then it burns out. And this was a very sad moment for me because I'm like, oh no, Smash is over. We're about to get the last bit of Smash. And then trailer goes dark. There's this fire sequence. Everyone's like, oh man, it's going to be Dark Souls. It's going to say bonfire lit and Soul Air is going to appear out of nowhere.
That would have
But
been
no.
sick.
Dude, oh my
I would
god.
have lost my mind. That would have been great.
I was watching some live chats, like I was watching VODs of the live chat, see what people were speculating of the moment of it. Everyone's like, it's Dark Souls. It's got to be Dark Souls. Wait, you can't throw fire. What is this? And then the split-second reaction is, as the fire reveals the key, and you're like, it can't be. And then bam, the Mickey Mouse ears appear. And I wish I had seen this live, because I was in the middle of a stressful day at work. But Sora appears. Sora for Smash, fucking confirmed. Let's go.
Damn.
Anyway.
The polar
Yes.
opposite of my friend who was like, this is stupid. I don't like this.
So it's not stupid, and I will tell you why. First of all, I've been a fan of Sora for Smash ever since the Wii U days, and it turns out I'm not alone. Way back when Bayonetta got announced, Sakurai said that Bayonetta was the single most requested character that they could reasonably get into Smash, was his exact words when he announced it. So everyone's sitting there like, all right, who the fuck was actually number one then? Because they're
And
like,
now
it was
we
somewhat
know.
unreasonable. They couldn't, and now we know it was Sora by a landslide. Like, he alone had 10% of the votes in the original Wii U tournament.
Jeez.
Like, it was by a wide margin people wanted Sora. So if everyone's saying no one wanted this, I'm going to call their bluff.
Apparently,
because I fucking wanted
10% of
this.
the world wanted this.
Yes. Then again, this is back during the Wii U days, back before Cloud and Sephiroth,
And
before
before 3.
before we could request dumb shit like Banjo Kazooie in the game, like back when DLC characters were like still Nintendo characters. But overall, I'm happy. I got what I wanted. Overall, he's a very simple character. Everyone's a little butthurt that all the DLC characters have this like extra level of complexity and Sora just straight up doesn't. But I don't really care. I just
Oh
want to play
no,
Sora.
he doesn't have 10,000 gimmicks like fucking
No,
what's Tekken guy again? Aiden?
Oh, was it
Hey,
Kazuya?
Hachi.
Kazuya, sorry.
Oh yeah, Kazuya.
I forget which one.
I forget the name, but yeah, Kazuya. Like
I mean,
all the characters, to be fair, have been so overdone. Like it's fine to end on a simpler guy.
No, it ended up being a lot of what they went with is like stylistic shit for Sora. Like he, when you get the final KO instead of the game ending normally, it ends like what happens when you end a boss fight in Kingdom Hearts, where the whole camera sort of like pans and they play this one sound effect. Anyway, it's really cool. You can tell they put a lot of love in his character and adapting like the way he looks and moves directly from Kingdom Hearts. It's a real shame what happened with 3. But speaking of 3, they were dead set that Kingdom Hearts 3 had to get on Switch without doing any work to get it on Switch. So they decided, well, what about cloud gaming? Can we pull that off? So Square Enix is like, all right, let's get Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch using cloud gaming. But hold on, why don't we just release the rest of the series through cloud gaming and don't actually port the shit to Switch? Phenomenal. So now we're getting the cloud gaming version of Kingdom Hearts, the entire franchise on Switch, which is actually
Wait,
the
okay, how much does all the franchise mean? 1, 2, 3?
all of it.
What does that
Like,
mean?
like-
There's
So,
like
all right, no,
20
so-
different games in this.
All right,
series.
hold. So to clarify, and this is going to get confusing. So
Yes,
the
that's why I'm
first, the
asking.
first, so flash back to the end of the PS3's lifespan. At that point in time, I think Dream Drop Distance on 3DS is the last Kingdom Hearts to come out. So what they do is they take the first couple games they released as Kingdom Hearts 1.5, it's a collection. Then the next set they released as 2.5. So then all that was left was Dream Drop Distance on 3DS. So they slapped that together with a shitty movie and a demo for 3 and called it 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Then 3 comes out. Then they took everything that came out before 3 and they sold it as a complete package called The Story So Far. I'm under the impression it's The Story So Far and Kingdom Hearts 3 are all available on cloud gaming, which means effectively everything.
Okay.
Except for
Story so far.
well, no, not the story. Actually, this. What was
Listen,
it
the
called?
story so far is all you need. Listen,
No, it was the one with the meme name we referenced
it.
later on in the show notes. 358 over 2 days. Technically speaking, that's not in there. They took all the cutscenes and made it into a movie just because the gameplay's so fucking awful, and it doesn't upscale well. So that's just the only way you play this in DS, and I'm going to tell you don't. But yeah,
that game's ass. Their Kingdom Hearts 3 don't exist.
Kingdom Hearts was a. All right, hold on. Can we go on a short tangent about why I like Kingdom Hearts here? So Kingdom Hearts
here
1.
we go.
Kingdom Hearts 1, good game. Tetsuya Nomura is like, I demand you play this Game Boy Advance game or 2 won't make sense. But dude's actually a genius. He goes with the plot line of giving Sora.
No, he can actually suck my dick.
All right, hold on. Before he does that, I need to explain how Sora having amnesia in Kingdom Hearts 2 is perfect. Because you meet all these people who are important all these people who are important in Chain of Memories, but you, the player, if you didn't play it, you have no clue who they are. And guess who else has no clue who they are? Sora. So it was perfect. You can go through the game not knowing what the fuck's going on and just resonate with the main character.
He did not
he
even
doesn't know what's going on
intend
anyway.
that. He didn't even intend that. There's no way. I don't believe
he didn't.
that.
He didn't. I'm not calling him a genius. I'm just saying Kingdom Hearts 2 is good because of that. That was purely by accident.
I hate it.
That said, the rest of the game doesn't benefit from that because you
As a
have to know everything,
person-
otherwise it just makes no sense at all.
Who loves the Kingdom Hearts games up till 3? I hate this.
Look, I would argue. So let's be real here. Kingdom Hearts franchise is dead to me. I'm not playing the next one. I didn't play Memory of Melody, even though it was important. I'm not really excited for what comes next. I didn't play the DLC for 3, which was apparently important. I'm kind of done. That said, I think there are 3 games in the franchise that you should play. You should play 1, you should play 2, and I think you should play Birth by Sleep because I really like that one. But that's it. That's the end of that franchise.
My sanctuary. My
Look,
sanctuary.
as much as we shit on
Stop
this stuff,
that, Tyler.
as much as we shit on this franchise, Simple and Clean came on shuffle last night while I was driving home.
Banger.
Still slaps.
Yeah, listen.
Banger.
Kingdom Hearts made me feel some type of way, and I will never forget Kingdom Hearts. But that ship has now sailed, and it is time to
Yeah.
wave goodbye to a former friend.
Yep. again, you can enjoy everything from the story so far, and that's it. That's the whole franchise on 2 discs, or however many fucking gigs it takes up on your hard drive.
All right, Tyler, how do we, if you were to change 3, would we leave the story intact and just make the gameplay better, or is it the story that you really don't like about 3?
The story and the gameplay were ass.
So both. All right. Should we announce that
Like,
we're starting our ROM hack
So
project to
all
fix
bad.
3?
yeah, right. It's so all right. So you know what? The combat, the base combat, I thought was fine. It's the auxiliary things that
Yes. We need to remove Disney
supplemented
World
combat.
from Disney World
Disney World's
rides.
gotta
It's
go.
gotta go.
Gotta go, my guy. Gotta go. Like, first thing, like if they told me, listen, Mr. Tyler, Mr. Just Tyler, if you could, we want you at the head of this. What's the first thing you get before he even says anything? Yeet the Disney rides. Get that shit out of there. But
Yeah. a
but
couple
sir,
games.
nah, get him out. Like, this is ass. Get him out. Also, nope. No, I can't. No, I was gonna make a spoiler, but for Dream Drop Distance, but I'm not going to.
Because our viewers might play that atrocious game.
It
I didn't
might
like Dream
play.
Drop Distance.
I didn't like Dream Drop Distance because of the ending. I got so pissed. The results. The results of the
Oh
cube.
yeah, the
You and I
actual
talked
ending.
about
Yeah,
it
we talked about
last
this.
week.
We're all still butthurt about how Dream Drop Distance like, yeah, let's be like an awful fucking setup for 3.
Yes.
Anyway.
Fuck
Anyway,
Riku's
enough
bitch
whining.
ass,
We
yo.
got Sora for Smash. I'm happy. Makes me forget everything else about the franchise.
Yes. All right. So here's my thing. Sora should have been put in as not the last character.
Why? So there's still room for Waluigi?
Well, not
Facts.
even Waluigi. It just feels bad that Sora's like the last character. That
It
is.
should have been Master Hand. Don't know how that would
I
work.
don't disagree with you, but at the same time, as someone who wanted Sora for forever, like I was very happy with him as the last character.
I'm happy with it, but I also feel like it's just such a weird note to go out on. You know?
I mean, I don't have a dog in the race, but I don't know if that's super true. I mean, to have the character that was apparently the most voted in that poll years ago, that seems appropriate. This is the one guy who
This
was
is the
if
payoff,
we had
the
to
hard
pick
to get
one,
character.
who's the one people wanted
I'm just,
so bad that was only possible because the game was so huge. Well, here you go. That's it.
Just saying that poll was before 3, so.
Damn.
I get that, but
Damn. Wow.
Whatever.
I don't know if let me put it this way.
Well, that's like saying, oh, well, they wanted Master Chief, but it was before the last Halo had come out.
Yo, but you know what?
Say,
That would be a fair argument.
No,
no, it
How about
wouldn't be
this?
because Halo 4 came out and that game was also ass.
Well, yeah, but like,
So,
let me put it this way: it sounds like Sakurai has had this on his mind since that poll 6 years ago. So if he could choose, he probably would have picked Sora.
Apparently, it was a long work in progress. Like back when Iwata was alive, he was involved in like the early negotiation with Square Enix of like, can you talk to Disney about whether this is possible?
Yeah, I was gonna say Square Enix and Disney because
And Square's like, we don't really want to talk to Disney about rights. That's not like a thing you do.
We prefer
We
they
already
forget
pushed
this
a lot.
franchise exists so that we can just get away with shit.
For real.
I'm sure they already pushed their luck over the years with these fucking
Exactly.
games.
I don't know. That's just my personal opinion on it.
Anyway, let's move off of Sora for Smash.
Yep.
Let's get off
So
the
I had
hype
a
/ hate for
transition
someone else.
before, but we blew past it. But that's okay. But in unrelated gaming news, there are a lot of shooters on the horizon because we're almost in fall shooter season.
We're talking about video games?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Is that a problem?
No, well, there was about to be if we weren't.
No, you know what the problem is? The problem is most of these games that are coming out seem kind of terrible. Aiden, would you like to report on the 3 shooter betas that are out right now?
Okay. So, over the past several weeks, I have had the great and terrible pleasure of playing the new Call of Duty beta, Battlefield beta, and Halo Infinite.
Sorry, Aiden, can you name all 3 games fully, please?
Battlefield 2042 and Halo Infinite
And Call of
Damn.
Duty what?
and Call of Duty Vanguard.
Okay, cool.
Vanguardia
Vanguard.
Leviosa.
Oh my god.
So Call of Duty Vanguard seems like they are just making a lazy push to appease fans on addressing the game engine change from Black Ops. The Black Ops engine was terrible and nobody likes it. So Vanguard is back on the Modern Warfare engine. But you can
Hooray.
tell that they have absolutely no idea how to use the engine.
Oh boy.
Like,
good.
there's just... It just doesn't feel good to play. I had a bunch of weird technical, like, visual bugs happen when I was playing it. They're going all in on, like, the Champions Hill mode, which is like a 2v2v2v2 whatever tournament. And, like, that's neat and all, but, like, that's not why people come to Call of Duty. And that was just kind of meh. The Call of Duty Vanguard was very much like just this is a 5 out of 10. Like, if I have literally nothing else to play, I might think about playing this one. But, you know, they got some competitors. And, you know, Battlefield's usually a pretty good one. Except 2042 probably could use like another 6 months of development time.
No.
So honestly, that beta, and so they've been saying, I will say this, DICE did come out and say that whatever version they used for the beta is not like the current like live.
I'm pretty sure they would
Like,
always say that.
Yeah. So like they've said that the game is in a worse state in the beta than it actually is currently for the development team.
Sure, guys.
Well, hold
But,
on. I get that 100%. We always make the stable version we use for demonstrations while we're still developing, and usually that's a week or two behind where we're at.
Freeman,
Yeah.
forgive me if I hesitate to believe DICE being that their game is much more stable on their current in-house version than their beta.
Oh no! I'm
Nothing
saying the
DICE has put out.
beta was the last stable build went out. What they have inside may not be stabler, but it's their internal one is probably still crashing pretty frequently. But
That's
it may
what I
be more
mean.
like
That's why
stable
DICE is like,
game-wise.
oh guys, it won't be this bad, I swear. And it's like, yeah, it fucking will. Don't even.
Yeah.
Don't even
So
pretend.
over the course of like the 15 or so games that I've played, I have seen everything from like there's phantom elevators, like, okay, so there's an elevator on the map that goes up to the top of this, like, it's probably like a 30-story building, and there's a point up there. If you go into the elevator with another person, one, the doors on the elevators are always shut, but if you walk into them, you'll just clip through the door.
Oh God.
and then you hit the
Nice.
button to go up, and everybody's character model will be outpaced by the elevator, so they just kind of awkwardly sink into the floor, and then they slowly rise back up through it once you reach the top of the elevator shaft. And at this point, you once again need to clip through the elevator door to get out.
Good Lord.
Like, it's... And that happens every time. Like, it's not like that's just like a frequently, an infrequent bug. That's just how the elevators work in the game.
Damn, that sounds terrible.
Visually, there's a lot of pop-in and like some textures. Do you remember how like I want to say Unreal Engine 3, like Borderlands 2, how it streamed all the textures in after you loaded? So it has something similar to that, but it's like it's almost like not all of the textures load in unless you're looking directly at them. And even that takes like a few seconds. It's so weird. and like that applies to like destruction layers and debris and all the stuff that's around. Like it'll just kind of like awkwardly goop into existence.
Goop.
It's that's the best way I can describe it. It just looks bad. Like sometimes when when you land, your parachute just doesn't go away. So you're running around a map with 64 enemy players, and you just have a giant parachute just stuck statically above your head, following you around.
Oh, wait, it's not even like limp clock getting dragged around. It's just fully
Nope.
deployed
Yep.
parachute is
It is
above
a
your head.
it is a
Oh
fully
my
deployed
God.
parachute. Like
It's literally like the Sims, like the icon above your head, the little crystal for the Sims.
like I will say like Battlefield's always been good with like sound design, and like the guns feel good and they sound great, and all that stuff is pretty good. I didn't really have too many problems with that. They have like the crisis cross for attachment, for swapping attachments on your gun, like in the middle of the match while you're still alive. You don't have to like redeploy your character and do anything like that. The one thing that was bizarrely missing from the beta, it's really not that important, so I get why it's not included, but there was no map.
Wait, like no mini map or
There was no map.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
Obviously, I say that facetiously. You definitely need a map, and for some reason, there was no map. You hit M and no map would open. You just couldn't open it. It existed because the map was there for when you deploy your character, but you couldn't just pull up the map in the middle of the game, which made it awkward trying to figure out like where the enemy is pushing, like what points you need to reinforce, etc.
Oh my God.
And I mean, like, the fact that you don't have a map implemented in a build this close to release is a little bit concerning to me. Like, there's the UI is awkward looking. Like, when points get lost, there's just a giant, like, bright light blue bar that comes up across the screen that looks out of place. Like, you have your XP feed on the right of the screen, and you have like the kill feed on the left. But they both use different visual designs, so it looks like two different people made those two UI elements, and they just don't match up.
God.
Like the game is honestly, it feels like it's just been slapped together, and honestly, like they need months more put
Like
into
the
this
kids
game.
say, you hate to see it.
You really do hate to see it. And like there's just too much wrong. Like every time I got into a vehicle turret, the gun would not stop shooting. I wouldn't touch anything. I didn't touch. You could just let it go. It will just relentlessly fire the turret until you get out of the vehicle. Like I just, it's just really simple shit like that was a problem that plagued every single game. Like these are not rare bugs. Like I saw them in every game that I played, and it's just awkward. Like it's especially like here's another one. The fucking when you're looking at like a helicopter or a jet that's flying, once it reaches a certain distance, it's like you stop getting information on the location of that object. So it just kind of starts awkwardly popping around on the horizon every time that you get new information about the vehicle's location. So you just see shit like helicopters and planes just teleporting around the map.
Oh no.
It feels bad. They need more time. And like honestly, if it doesn't get delayed, I feel like this is probably not going to turn out very well. But it is not all bad, because let me fucking tell you, Halo Infinite, mwah, magnifique.
There's so many, like, because I was watching you play, and it's just like, we were commenting on the quality of life stuff that they threw into the multiplayer. That's just
Yeah.
pretty amazing. Like Tim, did you know that say your driver dies, you
Mhm.
can seamlessly move over to the next open spot.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
say you're a passenger,
Yeah.
your driver dies, you can just hop in the driver's seat without doing anything. Like
From
Oh,
the
you hit
hell
a
gunner
yeah.
seat? What?
from
Yeah.
the gunner
If-
seat
if
or
you-
the
What?
passenger seat.
Wow.
If you were in a vehicle with multiple seats, you just tap Q and it will go to another
The
seat.
next seat,
My
yeah.
my one very minor complaint about that is that it works off of a priority system. So like if you are in the passenger seat or the gunner seat, you will always get into the driver's seat because the driver's seat is priority. And then the second priority is the turret, and then last priority is the passenger seat. You can't pick directly which one you want to be in, but honestly, with like obviously your driver's seat should be the one occupied first. So I think the priority system will work
I mean,
fine
that
for
makes
that.
sense, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean like it's only a 3-person vehicle, and like all the other ones, who cares?
Yeah.
uh, but like that was my only very very minor complaint about it, is that you couldn't select the specific seat that you want. But being able to do it has saved my life. Like
Nice.
Like
driver gets sniped
quality.
out of the car, fucking hop in the
Zoop.
back,
Seamless.
you just hop right over into the driver's seat, take over, and just zip away. It's fucking fantastic. Like the sound design is spectacular. Like there's a nice satisfying when you hit enemy shields, you get a very satisfying like thud, and it's a really nice like auditory feedback. And then when you get the final kill, you get a satisfying crunch.
Ooh.
It's great to listen to. Another really cool like thing that they added, the way that shields react to gunfire is much more visual. So when you shoot somebody, you will know exactly where you shot them because their shield will be bright red where you hit them.
Hmm.
And then when
Interesting.
their shield is extremely low, their entire shield just starts turning red. So it makes it a lot easier to determine how durable the enemy is when you're fighting them. Which is a complaint that I have had in some Halos, where it's like I can't tell if you don't like. I think it was Reach where I just can't tell whether or not they have a shield, because if they don't have the shield, there's like a tiny little bit of like the electricity effect, but it's not pronounced enough for me to actually see it. And it just feels bad when I walk up to somebody. I'm like, I think his shields are down, and then he just punches me in the face and I die because he was at full health. But like,
Yeah.
you get a lot more visual feedback in Halo Infinite. Uh, it just runs smooth overall as well. Like I didn't have any like hiccups or hangups or anything, even on the larger maps. When we was playing like big team battle and stuff. All of the new gadgets are really awesome. You have the hook shot, which is well, it's not. It's called the grappling hook. It's a fucking hook shot though. Uh,
Ha-
the mobility that the grappling hook affords you in Infinite is just fucking incredible. And is, I would say, like, it lends itself to them designing much more interesting maps. Like the one that they had in the beta was like you're in almost like a basalt canyon, and it has a ton of verticality to certain parts of the map. And being able to just like grapple up onto like a rock bridge to get to different areas of the map where like in another game you'd have to spend like a good 30 seconds walking around a different way to get up there is really nice. but they're limited enough to where you're not like zipping around the map like you're fucking Spider-Man.
Nice.
Like they've added a lot more utility to just the equipment in the game. Like repulsors are awesome. You can knock back anything in the game. Like somebody shoots a rocket at you, you can repulse it back towards them.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds
Somebody
cool.
throws a sticky grenade, you just bonk it back. And then you can stick them with it on a reflect. It's hilarious. And it's like, you shouldn't have done that. It's that it was just a satisfying and enjoyable time. It was really a good time, and I am very much looking forward to Halo Infinite. The way that it's laid out, like you have like power weapon vaults on the big team battle maps, so you have to control like a little zone while you're hacking into the vault where there's power weapons and stuff. So you can kind of break up the situations where it's like, well, the entire enemy team just controlled all of the static power weapon points, but we still have the option to like go over here and get into this vault and have like at least somewhat of a counter to their power weapons.
Cool.
Some of the other big thing about how weapons actually work now in Halo. I don't know if if it was like this in 4 or 5, but
Who knows?
yeah, who knows, and who cares really? Certain there is like a basic tier of weapon that when you pick it up, it will immediately start the respawn timer, which you can see now. There's like cabinets on the wall where the guns spawn, and it will have a blue bar that fills up, and when it's full, the weapon spawns.
Cool.
So the basic tier weapons immediately start respawning, so you can sit there and just pick up as many of them as you want. But then there's like a middle tier where you have like the shock rifle, the needler, I'm trying to think of some other ones. The Ravager, stuff like that. They will not start respawning until the weapon that is picked up from that cabinet runs out of ammo or despawns.
Oh, wow.
So controlling weapons is going to be a lot more important in Halo Infinite than it has been in the other games, as far as I can tell. Because, like, you really want to make the most of the weapons while you have them. Because you can't just go back there and get another one if you didn't make effective use of it. And I think that's going to be pretty interesting and a fun little dynamic, especially in like more personal maps, like 4v4 maps. And I'm happy to say that sliding has absolutely zero impact on the game because nobody uses it because it's useless. So don't care. No, don't worry about sliding. It's completely irrelevant.
Apex fans in shambles.
Hell yeah. So yeah, the new Call of Duty and Battlefield are gonna suck, and I'm gonna spend all my time playing Halo Infinite.
I just wish co-op was coming at launch so that we could do the LP.
Yeah, that would be
nice.
I'm still gonna play it, but I'm gonna hold off on the campaign until we're LPing.
Hey, there is no God, so
I'm not gonna play the campaign until the co-op is actually out.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
But yeah, in conclusion, Halo Infinite, their delay was you can tell they've definitely put in effort over the last year to
hooray,
really bring it up to a new level, I would say.
So what you're saying is everyone should do this.
Yes, yeah, everybody should do this, basically. Like, honestly, Call of Duty and Battlefield really should just be delayed, and then I'm gonna be playing Halo Infinite for sure.
Nice.
Like, if I didn't know any better, it wasn't a beta; it was just the release.
Wow, nice.
Damn.
Like, it was so polished. I never had a single problem.
Cool.
But yeah, that's that.
I feel like
That's been today's shooting corner.
Nice.
I feel like we need to twist the Miyamoto quote into something like a good beta might eventually be a good game, but a bad beta
Jesus
will
fuck.
probably be a bad game. Maybe
God.
Miyamoto said this at some point.
Me. I don't know how to transition off Miyamoto, but hey, before we get to Weeb and all the other stuff we've watched, I figured it's noteworthy enough for it to have its own category because Star Wars Visions came out, and now we've all watched it, all of it.
Yes, we have.
Overall,
How do we want to start this?
it was pretty good, but it definitely didn't start as if it was going to be pretty good.
Can I will say this, I honestly didn't like it as a whole.
Really?
Yeah, I unfortunately started with watching
Yeah.
3 of the stronger episodes first, and then the rest of it was like
Yeah.
a super big letdown in comparison to the first couple I watched.
All right, so go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah. I was like, there's a few that I did like, but I think overall it didn't hit me the way I wanted it to.
I think about half of them resonated pretty well with me. Maybe only my top tier really resonated with me, but I think overall, I think it's a really cool project to do. To just give a really well-known franchise to a bunch of creators and go do whatever you want. And some of it's going to be good and some of it's going to be bad, but you can clearly see that they were allowed to do whatever they wanted, which I do like. Like I even
it is cool. I just
so,
wish the writing was a bit better.
and that's valid, but I think it's hard to do that when a lot of these are like 15-minute.
Yeah,
Not
writing a
even
full
pilots.
story for
Yeah.
15 minutes
Nah,
is like-
bro. You know how to make some things better? Fucking the oh my god, the concert one.
So
Hold on.
You
so
could have
We'll get to the
easily
concert
rewrote
one.
that.
let's
Fine.
So, well, I was just gonna say. So, I don't know how you guys all want to break them down, but I know you've all heard me talk about this. I can very easily break this into. I could probably do 2 tiers, like an upper and lower tier, but I decided to go with 3 tiers: low, medium, high. And then low has one super bottom tier episode.
And
I see
as you
I
can
see
see.
what you did there. Yeah.
I will say, so before we get started, because Freeman, we watched Mother's Basement's video together. Or no, I talked about it. It's really interesting to see that people had different reactions to different things in this as well. Like, I loved certain things in this, and then based on his video and the comments on Reddit, like, some people felt almost the same way I did, and some people are almost opposite of what I liked. I think the easiest way to say it is, to start off with, is my bottom tier is Twins, episode 3, Tatooine
Oof.
Rhapsody, episode 2, and TOB1, episode 6. And I think those are stylistically... Yeah, Toby. Those are
Toby one.
stylistically the least Star Wars-esque episodes. And for some people, they resonate. And for me, they didn't.
Yeah, I'm kind of on board with this. I mean, those are definitely my 3 bottom tier for sure.
I think you could flip my bottom of the medium tier into the bottom tier with Twins just because the visuals of Twins, clearly Freeman, I think you said this, clearly the Japanese love the sequel trilogy.
They did for some reason.
Because
It's
Twins,
like
Yeah, I
everyone
thought-
holds the blaster in place. There's hyperspace scenes.
Twins looked
Yeah.
stellar and the fight was cool, but I just was like, this is not Star Wars at
That's
all.
what I was
It didn't
talking about. Like,
fit.
that's the writing I was talking about. Like,
But
with
I feel like
stuff like
that's
that.
mostly Twins.
So the
no,
thing is,
it's not mostly Twins.
I
It's
rewatched Twins.
it's in
I-
Tatooine
Rhapsody,
too.
my dude.
So,
like,
Oh, you mean
rewatched-
my F tier on a 3-episode tier? There's
Yeah.
3 spaces of nothing, and then you get to Tatooine Rhapsody.
and that's the thing. Toby 1 or Toby, that was good. Like, that's good. That was good writing.
It was good
That was
writing,
only 15
but
minutes.
I'm not a Mega Man fan, so it didn't resonate
I was
with
gonna
me.
say
and
it was
that's the
Mega
easiest-
Man.
I
What
know.
the
It
fuck?
was just Mega Man Star
It was
Wars.
that's probably why I liked it, because it was literally
and
just
that's
Mega Man.
valid. All right, so hold on.
So I didn't watch them in order. Toby was one of the last ones I watched, and while it wasn't bad, the problem was by the time I got to it, like every fucking plot line was the same. It's, ooh, there's a lightsaber, and oh, you're gonna have to fight the Sith guy that showed up looking for the Jedi. And at that point, it was like, all right, like I already know what's gonna happen. Can we move on?
I think so. I think that's really valid. I would argue though that what else are you gonna get from a Star Wars pilot?
So here's where we get into my grand theory about why Tatooine Rhapsody had only one good thing about it, and it was the only one that wasn't about the Jedi. It was, I wanted to see other episodes like Mando proved that you can set a story in the Star Wars universe and it doesn't have to be about the Jedi. And this, I understand the point of this project. Everyone wanted to tell the Jedi story. Everyone wanted to do the Force lightning scene, so they did. But I wanted to see more than that. And unfortunately, Tatooine Rhapsody is the only one that does that. And well, I didn't care. Sorry, I didn't hate the art style because it reminded me of a couple shows that I really like. I understand that for everyone, it's not their cup of tea, and the musical sequence was very, let's just say, not very good in English.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah,
It
I
was
didn't watch it in
bad, Cotton.
Japanese, but apparently
Yeah.
it's better in Japanese.
A
But
lot of the
still.
problems were fixed in Japanese. I listened to the song for Tatooine Rhapsody in Japanese, and I watched the Twins specifically in Japanese, and it fixed a lot of the issues with writing sounding bad. Whereas when you read it and hear the emotion in the voice, it's not as jarring. Yeah. That's my input on all three of your bottom tier ones.
No, I'm letting everybody put their tiers together because I'm really curious to see how all of our tiers stack up.
I don't have tiers. I have liked it or didn't like it.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, same. I don't have like tiers. It's either I like really liked it or I didn't, and there's like probably 3 that I actually liked.
All right, well that's fine. So okay, so
Good trash.
good and trash. That's all Aiden needs. All right. Well, either way, so
I figured the better structure would just to be go episodes 1 through 9 and have everyone sound off what did you think about it.
Well,
It was a cleaner structure.
I wanted to. That's why I made my comment though about everything as a whole, because watching it in order, it definitely didn't feel like this was going to be that good. Because episode 1, the duel, is in my middle tier. This dead smack in the middle. The art style was really interesting, but man, I don't know. It just didn't click right away. Honestly, it didn't click a ton. Period.
I enjoyed it overall. I'm glad I watched it early on because if it was the 9th episode I watched, I'm like, oh boy, another fucking fight between a Jedi and a Sith, except this time it's in CG. I probably wouldn't have liked it.
I guess, but like then you get to Tatooine Rhapsody, which is my worst episode. Then you get to Twins, which is also a bottom tier episode.
I'm so hyped.
And then you get to
the
Village Bride, which
Village
is
Bride.
my first episode in the top tier.
Really?
So like Village Bride is where it turned around for me. So fine, we'll go in order. Duel, stylistically really good, and I think it starts it out on an okay note.
I was impressed with how they used the filters to cover up how blatantly 12 frames per second CG they were rendering it. But like they did a good job of using moving filters to hide the fact that nothing was moving. And I think if CG anime can go in that direction, this is a really cool example of it. That said, please don't invest in at least another 10 frames per second. Please, I'm begging you.
Aiden, can I just say, unrelated, seeing you break it down into good and bad, how your good is almost... Where's Lop? You missed Lop.
I'm on the fence about Lop.
Gotcha, okay. I rated
In
that
a
a
big
little higher.
way.
But that's really funny how your list almost exactly matches my list. But I think Duel was really cool. Also, the style, like you said, the style I think carries it a lot. But it's a style that I feel works for Star Wars a lot more than like the chibi in Tatooine Rhapsody did, or
Chibi Boba Fett didn't need to happen.
I think
But we did not
you know
need
what?
to see that.
I think for the people who liked it, it's fine. I got literally nothing out of it.
Well, they're wrong, Tim.
Okay, whatever. See, that's what I mean. But like Mother's Basement was like, "Yo, this is one of the best episodes out there," and I'm like, I can't.
Wait, he
even
thought
see that.
that fucking
Freeman, you watched the video, right?
No, I don't watch
Rhapsody.
Mother's Basement's videos anymore because we have very different opinions on anime. That all I do is hear him like celebrate a show that I watched and straight up thought was bad. So I just kind of stopped watching his videos because I don't
That's valid.
I don't put value in what he says.
Damn,
Which
this
makes a
is
lot of
so
sense, especially like, if you
Freeman's
don't
list
agree
being
with
So
it.
wow.
the
Okay.
last one is just I was so fed up with all the plot lines being the same that by the time I got to the last episode, I was bored and didn't care. So I need to
So
rewatch Akakiri.
so I still think Akakiri isn't that good. I think except for the twist at the end,
Which one was that
Akakiri.
one again?
It's the one where he turns to the dark side at the end to say it's literally
Oh,
the,
that guy. Oh, yeah.
it's
Okay,
literally the
yeah.
one that's like the condensed Anakin story, but it actually worked.
So the last episode.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
no,
last
that,
episode.
that was
Um,
it was okay.
All right, we're
It was
breaking up the
okay.
order now. And we've been doing this for 10 minutes. We'll run through them pretty quick. Tatooine Rhapsody we've already all ragged on. I don't think any of us really liked it or connected with it much.
Fuck that.
That's for sure.
I mean, like, it for Disney, this is fine. You could put this on like Disney XD or whatever for the
Sure.
fucking 4-year-olds.
Disney
Oh my
Love the
God.
shit out of
XD,
it.
Um,
Like, that's where it belongs. Like,
then we got after Tatooine Rhapsody. Then we got also that was oh my God, what's his name? I can't remember which famous actor it is as the English main character in Tatooine Rhapsody. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was the main character in English in Tatooine Rhapsody.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So then we move on to the twins, which I think we can all agree is super style and no substance at all.
You're there to watch a fight scene. Like if
But
you
it's
go on
not-
YouTube and look up Naruto fight compilations, you'll fucking love this episode.
like
Sure.
the very interesting thing about this is like Trigger did 2 of these episodes and they are so wildly
Completely.
fucking different from each other.
They're
Like,
also in
this is-
opposite tiers on my list.
this is what I was expecting from Trigger, but the other Trigger episode actually makes me wish that they did more stuff like that
Mhm,
instead of their
mhm.
over the top like Promare,
Well,
Gurren Lagann.
I think the over
like,
the top
shit like that.
over the top stuff is great, just not.
It
It
is,
doesn't fit in
but-
Star Wars that well.
yeah, time
Um,
and place.
Yeah, but it was still looked cool. But like as soon as they jump outside and they don't have helmets on or anything at all, and then the droid
yeah,
has a helmet
well,
on, it's like this is just stupid.
I mean, she turns into fucking Sith Doc Ock and like what the fuck, dude? Like they went
Sith
completely
Doc
off the
Ock.
rails. And like,
Look.
what was that ship design? Like how the
Oh, the two
What?
conjoined
No,
ships.
honestly, Aiden,
Look, man,
you know
if you
what that
watched
was?
Kill la Kill, you knew exactly what to expect
No,
going
no, no.
in.
Aiden, you know what that was? You know what
Yeah,
that
I
was?
know.
They zoomed in on a Star Destroyer and they're like, how can we add something dumb to this Star Destroyer? And it's like, we just strap it to another one.
just tie this to Star Destroyer to
Just
that
stick to
Star
the other.
How do you make a gun more
Yeah,
deadly?
right.
You tie another gun to the gun.
Put my
think-
yeah,
I
you just
think,
fucking aliens that
I'm pretty
shit,
sure
dude.
ProZD had a video
You
like
just-
that.
You just
Oh.
duct tape that shit together and it's good.
Yep. Then we get
Oh,
to
fuck
my first top tier one. I really liked Village Bride. And I think that's pretty consistent with me liking a lot of these slower paced ones more. It was cool seeing battle droids again. The katana lightsaber was cool. I know they did that a lot,
My-
but I thought it was cool.
My problem with Village Bride is like I've seen that same Japanese story 100 times.
Tyler, that's why you've seen like 10 times the movies I've seen
Literally.
on that movie website that we were doing.
Yeah, also that I'm like, yo, how many times are the Japanese gonna do Seven Samurai? Like it wasn't
I
shot for
mean-
shot, but it was literally like, oh
Tyler,
no,
well, hold on.
the poor
what do you
village is
expect?
under siege by these rich guys.
Tyler,
They're gonna come at this time. Oh hey, look, these skilled warriors just so happen to show up. They're gonna defend the
All right,
poor village.
can I just say
Oh.
that's like
No, fuck this.
that like what do you expect when you give Japan Star Wars?
Something fucking different for the love
Well,
of
that's-
God,
and that's
please
what the
give
best
me
one is.
something.
But well, or you go too different.
Please,
Oh my
I
god.
want something different. I don't want any more isekais.
You want a music
I
video?
don't
then.
want any more shonen. I want a Cowboy Bebop.
Oh my
I
god.
want.
You
I
just
want a
want
Full
an
Metal
animated
Alchemist.
Mandalorian.
Sure.
I
That'd be great,
know.
but none of them were that.
I also yelled at Mandalorian for doing that.
Oh my god.
Because they literally did have
True,
a
can
Seven
confirm.
Samurai episode,
Yeah, that did
Yeah.
happen.
which like it was fine, but I was like, whatever.
Then we go to episode 5, which was
The Ninth Jedi.
it really? It was
Yeah.
5th? Oh shit!
The-
Oh,
Yep.
Ninth Jedi was
The
pretty
absolute
dope.
best
I love this
episode of the
one.
whole thing by a mile.
It was pretty good.
The studio begging Disney to let them do an actual series with so many hooks to a future episode.
I mean, I would watch it.
100%.
I would 100% watch it. It was pretty cool.
Story beats were all cool. The concept seems really cool for whenever in the timeline this would theoretically take place. The fights were all really good. The twist was honestly really good. Like visually, it was cool. The guy.
Wait,
in the
which
droid
twist?
Was,
There was one twist I didn't like.
which one was that?
Um,
Him and the droid.
when homie flopped sides. When he
Oh,
like,
that was kind
"Whoa."
of dumb, but like whatever.
It was super dumb. It was super dumb and super convenient.
I don't think it changed anything.
It definitely knocked down a
Tyler,
point for me.
They wanted to have a second
What?
lightsaber change colors, and that's all it was.
Well, like like it hurts. They could have at least done it for some good reason other than him losing.
Well, no, he's like, I got sucked into the darkness.
Oh, I got stuck in. Oh, my bad, homie. I said,
I feel
"Too
like
much
with
let me-
morning."
Let me just take back the terrible things that I did real quick.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. You gotta forgive me, man. Like, this
You know,
shit.
It happens. It happens
You
sometimes.
see, my lightsaber's purple. See, I could just flip.
You know, you
See?
meet a girl when you're 9 and you just kind of fall in love, and it just things
Yeah.
get a little out of hand every once in a
Things
while.
go
That's
out of
perfectly normal.
hand.
It's
I'm
perfect.
back
It
now.
happens. Sand gets everywhere. It happens to everyone.
Sand gets everywhere.
Look, that's
I know
valid,
I'm being
but
overly
overall-
critical on something.
No, it's
I will
okay.
say
It was great though.
most of these things, I thought Tim will say this because I pretty much was live texting him as I was
Mhm.
watching these. I will say that the animation for most of these I thought were pretty great. Even like when I saw that when the duel showed up, I was like, man, I'm gonna hate this animation.
Because it
It,
looks
like,
super
hit-
weird in screenshots and in the trailer.
It looks super weird, but I was like, you know what? This actually, like, looking at it, like I had the same effect as oh my god, as Spider-Man into the
Yup.
Spider-Verse, where the early promos were like, yo, this looks terrible,
Mm-hmm.
but then when you watch it, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I could get behind this. I mean, it wasn't as, oh shit, like this is actually stupendous, like Spider-Verse, but
Well, yeah, nothing stupendous like Spider-Verse. You know what else isn't stupendous? Toby one.
Toby,
Okay.
yeah.
You mean
finally put
Astro
my-
Boy?
I finally put my
You mean
finger on.
Astro Boy Mega Man?
Yes,
Yes.
actually, Astro Boy. What? I finally figured out what's bothering me about this. It's that the robots in this episode don't even feel like robots. They just feel like blobs. And like if they felt like robots, maybe the episode would feel more like Star Wars. But it didn't.
Yeah, this was a really weird one. Like,
It's a love. Look, like you guys said, it's a love letter to Mega Man and Astro Boy, and that's fine. But it's
this,
again
I
not,
would
not
have,
for me.
I would have enjoyed this more if it wasn't Star Wars, like, or if it wasn't supposed to be Star Wars. Like, this would have been fine, but like, this does not fit.
Yeah.
We talk about how the professor looked like he was a character from Steven Universe.
Yes, it was Dr. Light drawn in that art style.
Pretty much.
Oh my god.
Again, it was just it's another one that's like you said, Aiden, Disney XD.
Yeah.
You could easily do the Adventures of Toby one. Oh my god, you would make so much money.
For sure. Yo, you know
Um,
what?
These little fucking
Don't worry.
brats.
Give it a year. Give it a year.
Well,
I'm
that's
sure.
the thing. Like,
I'm sure Disney will see enough success from these
Yo,
to maybe
wait. I
turn some of these
remember
into series.
now that you mention that. Do you guys like literally? This just triggered an old memory. Do you guys
Oh.
remember Cartoon Network? Like back in the day, like this is how Megas XLR and like Billy and Mandy got like Remember they had like, yo, we're just gonna play a bunch of pilots for you guys, and you guys get to vote, and whoever
Oh
got
yeah.
the most
yeah, I
votes
remember.
got the show.
Uh-huh.
Dude, that was crazy. Those were good days.
I
Those
don't
were the
think
good
Disney's going to
days.
greenlight a single one of these as an actual pilot.
Unfortunate, because
No.
I feel like there's
Some
found
of them
money here.
Ninth
some of
Jedi
them
could
have
easily be a
very real
banger of a
potential.
series.
Yeah, Toby and Ninth Jedi could easily be like easy
you-
pickups.
Honestly, you're probably not even wrong with those picks, except maybe episode. Well, we can't because it's not the next one. Fuck. All right,
Well,
Well, no,
episode.
they would
I
literally
was gonna
just
say
take the
Lop could
highest,
Yeah,
the
Locke could be
highest
too.
rated ones,
Well, then you'd
and
bet
just
Ninth
be like,
Jedi.
we could roll with that.
Speaking of rolling, we got to roll along because oh my god, we've been talking about this a while.
That's good stuff.
That's valid. Speaking of good stuff, the last in my top tier, number 7, Elder.
The Elder.
the other
short,
Trigger
Other
concise.
trigger one
episode.
that you could never pay anyone enough money to figure out this was a trigger one if they didn't see the logo on it.
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah, I
on.
thought it was okay. Actually, yeah, no, I thought it was okay.
I thought it was it
They
was
did the
great.
switcheroo though that I knew they were gonna wuss out on. The Padawan.
Living.
I knew he wasn't. I knew. Yeah, I
If
knew he
Tyler,
wasn't gonna
if
die.
he knew this was going to get a series, he would have died. If
Yes,
to try to get
probably.
a pilot, they had to keep him alive. Would have been sick if he died, but yeah.
If he died, I would have been. I would have been like, honestly, that would. I think that like, it was definitely one of those things that caused the notch to go down for me.
That's valid, but for me, I mean, it was really cool to get like in Village Bride, or in the next one, Lop. Like the world building got to me, and this was really cool to have this like you pretty quickly established this whole Master Padawan relationship that was kind of Qui-Gon Obi-Wan esque, but
Yes.
also different because Obi-Wan is this kid clearly wasn't Obi-Wan.
This kid was about that action.
Yes.
I see, and that's why I wanted him to die so bad. Honestly, like it's kind of fucked up
Point.
because he was like, "Yo, like, like
gonna fight
if
some
I
Sith."
fight him, I'm gonna use my training." He's like, "All right, bro, calm down. Like, we don't look for violence. Remember?" He's like, "Yeah, I
The
guess
violence.
you're right." And then literally ran into him, and like he couldn't take the smoke. And I'm like, okay, see, that
the
would have
action
been.
was not a ton, but it was really cool though. I really liked
Yeah.
the way the Elder moved and everything like that. The guy blocking the lightning and everything. It was cool. I will say this is not a pilot though, because the fact that he just blows up his ship and they're like, "We got nothing, bye." Like
They fuck off.
they
yeah.
know that's not a pilot.
That's fine.
Lop and what is it? Ocho?
Lop and Ocho.
I was not expecting to like one this much, considering that the main character is a furry bait.
The mink.
What do you mean bait? It's just a furry, dude.
It's not even bait. It's just straight.
It's just a furry.
But honestly, this is like, Freeman, you were talking about all the stories being the same. Like, the Empire taking over a planet and some people totally being on board with it and being like, yo, fuck the old system is a feels like a completely legitimate Star Wars story.
Yeah. No, the first like maybe 5-6 minutes of the episode where they're setting up the world is really good, and then once they get into the family shit, I was like, all right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So one main thing about this: bunny people don't work in Star Wars. Leave that.
That's valid.
Leave that shit with Square Enix
Look,
and
it's
Final
medium
Fantasy.
tier for a reason.
And if they're there, they gotta talk in not English like Chewbacca, otherwise it gets weird.
Like, and I agree with Friedman. Like, the first few minutes of the episode with the world building was really good, but like this family shit, like the quote unquote sister or whatever, fucking Ocho, like she just seems so irrational and unreasonable as a character. It's like actually almost unbelievable.
Another thing I think is because of the runtime.
Yeah, like it was just it detracted a lot for me, and I'm like, why are you making any of these decisions? Like, none of this makes sense to me. And like equally, like even the father too, just like randomly is just like, I am rebel leader now, and it just seems like there's no real build up to it. Like these things all just happen immediately, and it felt kind of strange to me.
Yeah, she was
Overall, I
on some
liked
other
it.
shit.
It's like it's like a 6.5. It's like gently above average.
I also couldn't unhear Hanzo the entire time the dad was talking. I'm like, this is Hanzo.
Oh
This is Hanzo talking to
shit!
me.
I didn't know that.
Like the second he spoke, I'm like, it's hand soap. Let's go.
It's hand soap. The noose tightens.
Almost done though. Episode 8. Wait, no, that was episode
No,
8.
we weren't.
Episode 9, Akakiri.
I was like only half paying attention. I need to actually rewatch this before I pass judgment, so I'm going to abstain from commenting on this one.
It's like I said, it's bottom of the middle tier for me.
Oh fuck! Which one was that again?
Like I just said before, it's the one where he goes to the dark side at the end.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, that one. That one.
I
I honestly forgot the title. Like I remember all of them. I just forgot the titles.
That's fine. I think it's cool that it was a concept that they tried to play it out because they clearly spent the whole episode going, "Yo, he loves this chick," so it kind of works, and it's kind of cool to see the whole. It feels like they're trying to posthumously validate Anakin a little bit. Be like, no, he's not the only Jedi who did this. I swear. But the animation style didn't really do it for me on this one. This was one of the few ones I was like, this isn't really a looker.
So this one and Toby one were both by Science Saru, who, for anyone, what was the name of that show? Keep Your Hands Off Azakin. And they also did like Devilman Crybaby. Like they're known for doing shows with very strange art styles, but they're also really good for doing shows without cohesive plot lines. So I was very cautious with both their episodes.
So that explains a lot since I didn't really like Devilman like as much as you guys did.
Oh, dude, hold on! Don't make it sound like we legitimately love Devilman. I enjoyed the experience. It was goofy. It was disgusting, but like in retrospect, like Devilman Crybaby is not that great of an anime.
Yes.
You
No.
No,
we do not get hype
No.
about Devilman Crybaby.
I get hype over Devilman Crybaby.
I got hyped at the beginning of Devilman Crybaby, but halfway through it started losing me. And that seems to happen with every Science Saru show.
I will tell you, there is one scene in Devilman Crybaby that gets me hyped, and Freeman knows exactly what scene it is.
Okay, so it's definitely the opening, not the opening scene, but like the driving scene 30 seconds into the first episode, because it gets me hyped too.
Oh, there's that. So there's that. All right, it's all right.
There's two.
Maybe I should be more specific. Literally, anytime Ryu drives a car.
Oh, every time his theme song is playing,
anytime
he's always driving.
When he shows up, what's the main character?
He shows up at the dock. You're talking about the scene where he just
takes out a gun and just shoots up the fucking.
No.
dock.
He shoots everyone at the dock, and he's like, "Oh wait, main character, is that you?" And it's just like he was about to kill him. He didn't care.
I know that was like, this is great. I love this guy. Ryu. That was like my favorite part of the entire show.
You're saying your favorite part of the show is the first 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah, episode 1 was great. The rest of the episodes, not so much.
Everything else is fucking wild, like
except for like except anytime they had a running sequence was great, mostly for laughs. But yeah, no, the rest of that show had struggles.
Speaking of shows from Japan.
Oh wait, is that the cue? Is it time for someone else say it?
The Weeb shit.
Damn,
wow. I literally said the Weeb shit,
I forgot to
and I was waiting.
Played it, and
wow.
Wow. It played on my end. Fuck.
It didn't work. It worked before the podcast, and it broke me.
Yeah.
He pressed the wrong button.
Edit out so that way you guys can hear all the hearing the Weeb shit.
Yeah.
I did it, and I was like, yes, we landed. I'm like, why is everyone saying it? I definitely just played it. I hate Discord noise suppression, but it's so good at making sure you listeners don't have to hear my keyboard all the time.
Very.
I ruined it. I'm so depressed. Can we just skip the Weeb shit?
Yeah,
okay.
we can.
We got plenty of stuff to talk about watching and playing. So.
No. We can talk about it. It's all
no,
pretty
wait.
short stuff. No, wait. I played the sound. It's time for the Weeb shit.
Okay.
Tim, go ahead. Lead us in.
Oh, yeah. So, big surprise. At the end of the last My Hero season, they said, hey, guess what? My Hero Season 6 is coming next year.
Yeah. No way. It's in season 6? Impossible.
We forgot to talk about And Tyler, we need to figure out if anyone but me, Freeman, and Val are going to see this. But 2 weeks from Friday, I believe, is the movie coming to U.S.
Oh yeah.
So me, Val, and Freeman were talking about it on Sunday that we're going to go see it for sure.
We just got to figure out what night the subtitled version is showing because I ain't watching Dub Deku
100%.
whine at me
But
for 2 hours.
It's apparent, Tyler. It's apparently coming on a Friday and leaving the next Thursday, so we have effectively a week to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go see it. I know Leslie can't go see it. Who knows with Luigi? But if you wanted to go, you could.
Yeah, you know,
But I
I'll go.
also-
I don't usually watch shonen movies, but I'll see it for friendship.
You don't have to. Sound less
The hero,
interested.
all right,
Jesus.
of all the shonen franchises, the hero movies have probably been better than most of the like. Let's take Demon Slayer out of the equation because that's kind of
Yeah, I was gonna
I was
say.
about to say,
compared to,
you
like,
really
any
want
other,
to talk
like-
about Demon Slayer?
Well,
right
let's
now,
not talk about
bro?
it because Demon Slayer is not like these other ones where it's these movies that aren't really canon. Of the not canon movie idea, I think Hero Academia is executing it the best.
Sure.
Tell me, it's better than Broly, my dude.
Hold
That's
on.
valid.
Actually, no, it's funny you bring that up because I'm going to interject it here. So Broly was really great, and Toei Animation's like, man, people really loved a new Dragon Ball movie, and nothing else about this movie is what drew them in. It was just the fact that it was a Dragon Ball movie is why they saw Broly,
No.
right? That was all they loved about it, right? Just being a new Dragon Ball movie. Let's make a new Dragon Ball movie, and let's not do anything that was in Broly because clearly there was nothing else people liked, and let's just do the whole thing in shitty ass fucking CG
Wait,
and call it Dragon Ball Superhero, the next Dragon Ball movie.
did we know
We'll
about
just
this?
have. I brought it up when the first trailer dropped because there was only like 13 seconds of animation, and it was this choppy sequence
yeah.
of Goku doing his classic jumping and stretch scene, and everyone's like, "Why was that animated at 5 frames per second?"
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you know,
I remember what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
You know
That
the-
was
to the
fucking
most-
atrocious.
And they came with a full trailer, and it's a CG 2D blend, but it's still just as choppy as the first trailer. And it's like they heard all the criticism and said, "I don't understand. What's everyone mad about? Just release the movie." So that's the current state of Dragon Ball superheroes.
We should watch.
Also, the dumbest
We
name.
should, in protest, rewatch Broly as a group the day that movie comes out.
In protest.
I'm
damn
so
it.
mad. They're just
But
not
yeah.
learning their lesson about Dragon Ball.
All it was that we're getting season 6 of My Hero next year, to literally no one's surprise. Also, to no one's surprise, Demon Slayer's chugging along.
Well, hold on. This part is a little bit to people's surprise because they kind of blatantly lied to us about this.
So as Freeman will attest, we were supposed to be right now getting the new season of Demon Slayer, and they were like, "Ha, fooled you." Mugen Train is getting split into episodes with new footage, and then the real entertainment arc season comes in December.
Here's the part where they trolled
Fooled
us.
you.
They told us the
Fooled you.
Entertainment District arc was its own full 2-core show. And they said that blatantly, outright tweeted it. Then when they finally released the episode schedule, they're like, no, it's 2 cores, but the Mugen Train arc is in those 2 cores. And it's like, okay, so like how many weeks ago did you know that you were only going to animate like 16 episodes and paraded it around like it was 26? Like how many weeks did you know and not tell us? And nothing. We're just getting Mugen Train is going to be 8 episodes. The one new one that came out last week, which is actually anime original, it wasn't in the manga.
Yep.
6 episodes of the movie, and then 1 episode of like cut material that's like essentially the epilogue of the arc, and then new arc for roughly like 16 episodes, I think.
So that sucks. But Freeman, just to skip around a tiny bit, just because we're talking about Demon Slayer, we don't need to talk about Demon Slayer again, since we did watch the new episode. It was pretty good. It was pretty cool to see new Demon Slayer footage again.
Yes. It's so for me it's less jarring because I just finished watching the Heaven's Feel movie, so I was just watching some Ufotable productions recently. So for me it's like, all right, cool, let's see what they're gonna do next. And with their 1 episode of new footage, they still did some cool stuff.
Oh yeah, the ending of the episode shockingly emotional feels for a 1 episode thing that ties into a movie that we already know how it goes. You should watch it, Tyler, when you have 20 minutes.
Should I? Is it really worth it?
Yeah, if you
I
don't
mean,
want to rewatch the movie, just watch this episode. Skip 6 episodes because you're not rewatching the movie, which will include new footage. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I
I'm
said I
watching
literally
all of it
watched the
again.
movie twice in theaters.
Okay,
Same.
well,
I'm watching
just
the show
watch
again.
just watch episode 1. It shows, without spoiling it, it's
It's all
How did-
Rengoku. That's all it is.
how did
Just
Rengoku
say
get on the Mugen Train?
Yeah,
is
why-
the plot of the episode.
How did he find out about the train? Here we go.
Oh, okay.
It's
I'll take
honestly
that.
pretty cool to see to develop his character a little
I'll
more.
take more Goku.
I know, that's why it's great.
Oh, did I tell you guys? Oh no, Freeman, I don't think you were there. Obviously, I'm not gonna say anything. Obviously, but an aspect of the story for Demon Slayer was spoiled for me about a week ago.
Oh, I know a major spoiler too, but I don't want to talk about it here. And I don't
That's
want to
a
compare with
fun-
you because we might end up knowing.
No,
two
I don't
things
want to
and ruining
compare.
it.
That's the last thing I want to fucking do. Is chance us ruining even more for
God.
each other. Oh god, but I hated
yeah.
it. Like it just showed up on my TikTok one day. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
Damn,
The internet is terrible. I hate it.
internet's shit. I hate it. Fucking
that's
ass.
rough.
Yeah, let's talk about some Shield Hero though. What is
Yeah,
Oh
this?
shit!
What is this
so-
coming
so-
out?
Is that still real?
So I put this in the next one on here. Just that, hey, we got confirmation from Crunchyroll that Shield Hero and Bookworm are coming back next year. I think next season, right, Freeman? Winter season?
So I think
Like the January season?
Bookworm is in January. There's still no announcement for Shield Hero.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
and I watched the Shield Hero teaser, and like I don't know if I'd call this a teaser because it's all
know.
footage from season 1.
Which is so dumb. I don't know. It's just cool to get confirmation that these shows still exist. Honestly, I'm probably more excited for Bookworm at this point than Shield Hero.
You know,
Yes, Shield Hero kind of ran out its gimmick, and I don't know where it's going to
Shield
go.
Took too
Hero
long.
is like 3 years too late.
Yeah, dude, they really took too long. Like it's so funny because they announced the 2 seasons so fast, but they took so long to come out that like
I forgot we got a season 3 confirmed.
I really think it's gonna come out and people are gonna care way less than they thought they would.
I mean, it also doesn't help that like what made Shield Hero popular was it had a controversial first arc, and going into the next arc, it's like there's nothing special about it. It's we have to fight the other group.
I'll start watching it, but like I don't know if it'll make it through the season. But then again, you know what, Freeman, I will say, I said that about Slime at the end of season 1. I was like, I don't know if I'm on Slime anymore.
You know,
Even though
I
Slime's not
honestly
super
can't
good.
even remember. I can't even remember what Shield Hero is about at this point.
Do
Larku.
you want to recap what's going on in the last episode?
Like,
Remember the
I
other
can't-
heroes, Lark?
See,
the
but
guy
like,
with
if I
glass?
can't,
Universe also-
remember, I think that's an indicator of how I'm gonna
Valid.
feel about season 2.
Yeah. All right.
Like, I don't want to have to rewatch the entire season to like
That's
not
valid.
be lost. And, like, it's just been too long. It was a good season, and then like there's other more interesting shit that is like more active that I'm interested.
You know what? You know what isn't waiting too long? Core 2 of AT Shikso. There were
Shit, we're already 2 episodes
so
in,
many
right?
Yeah, I haven't watched the second one yet.
I haven't watched either of them
The
yet. I
first
gotta
one
watch
was
that next.
pretty great. Yeah, 86 is back, and it's pretty good. It's already weird to have this time jump because so many anime core just don't really acknowledge a second core. This is like, hey, look at this time jump since season 1. It's clearly
Yeah, I was wondering if they were gonna do a jump, or they were literally just gonna pick up exactly where they left off.
Clearly, stuff has happened.
Did
There is
they
a
make
lot.
it very clear how long the time skip was, or is it just kind of like
Yes.
everyone's hair is longer?
Yes, you are aware how long the time jump is,
Okay, cool.
but a shocking amount has happened in a relatively short time. But yeah, that again, I'm not putting that on watched because it's a new season and I would like to wait till the end these days. But it's the only show of the season that I can say I really care about. I know Freeman will yell at me about.
Well, no, I
Tact
gotta
and-
watch some more before I should tell you why you should care about certain ones. But I'm still gonna say that Platinum End probably has high potential, even though I haven't seen it yet.
and Tact and Jobless
Oh yeah,
should be watched.
Tact, from an animation perspective, looks phenomenal so
I
far. I'm
watched a
probably
clip
gonna
of
watch the
Tact.
first
It
episode
looked
after
pretty
this.
sick. And then Freeman, you have the last one for.
Yeah, I'm here to whine about Netflix. I don't know if I talked about it last week or not, but like I was happy that Netflix was finally gonna do weekly releases for certain shows. They were like, yeah, Komi-san's gonna be week to week, and then they dropped the ball. They're like, oh yeah, it's week to week, 3 weeks after it airs, and it's like, wait, what? Like you're still not dubbing it, like it's just being translated, right? Like yeah, 3 weeks to translate an episode. And I'm sitting here as someone who used to work in a fan subbing group. Like, I had 25 minutes to time the subtitles, and one guy was translating the script, and we had an episode done in an hour. And this was volunteers, a bunch of college students, would do, like, shitty-ass kids anime. We would sub to English in under an hour and release it on the internet. And Netflix was like, nah, we need 3 weeks for the English, the Spanish, the French, the Portuguese, and like two other subtitled versions. And it's like, you need 3 weeks for that? So I'm mad because I just want to watch Komi-san. I could pirate it, but I want to show Netflix, like, here, your viewer numbers for week-to-week airings are just as good as the binge watch ones. You should do week-to-weeks. But at the same time, I don't want to like let them know that this was a good idea. Like delaying 3 weeks, super shitty. So, but I gotta award them for at least trying with views. So we'll see. Anyway, that was oh my god, suppressor, go away. That was temporarily it for the Weeb shit.
Yeah, and now we're gonna get back into
Second Weeb shit.
there it worked now.
About stuff we actually watch as opposed to the news.
Man, I can't believe in the last 3 weeks we finished Dragon Maid and My Hero. That's crazy.
I've got like 3 left on Dragon Maid.
Well, Dragon Maid season 2 was quite good.
I'm at the point where I don't want to rush it because I kind of want to savor the last
valid. I'll just say that I think the season isn't quite as stellar as season 1, but it's still really good. There's a lot of fun stuff. If you like season 1, and KyoAni putting out a new show these days is obviously still to be celebrated.
I'm hoping this is just the start of them doing annual releases again.
My Hero.
My hero.
Yo,
is...
why couldn't why did
Oh no.
Why did my least favorite arc get paired up with probably my favorite arc in one season?
Why did the best arc of the season get rushed and feel like it went too quickly to buff out the beginning arc of the season?
All right.
There.
Am I crazy?
So let's talk about this season as a whole, because I keep giving this speech to everyone I know. Awful. What was the point of the
Worst
season?
By far.
The point of the season is, hey, listeners, I'm going to spoil this season of Hero Academia. So if you don't want to hear about what happens to Deku, skip ahead 5-10 minutes. So Deku learns about his quirk. He practices, and the last episode is Deku can use the other part of his quirk. That's it.
Other part.
24 episodes. That's all that happens. And then the villain arc, the real reason we're here, happens in the middle. But in the grand story scheme, because they like the way they restructured it made the villain arc feel less important than it was, because it was like a flashback to something that almost didn't matter during the Endeavor
Literally,
arc.
none of the stuff that happened with the heroes in the first 2/3 of the season was affected by what the flashback of villains did.
I know, it was
Other than
so.
Hawks being like villains.
I just wish they'd.
Oh, and
Let's say
Genus.
that's different.
That's fucked up.
Yes, I was so happy to see him on
Genus is-
screen again, and then
For
bam,
2
gone.
seconds. But also, legitimately, I feel like the villain arc was too rushed. Maybe it's just because I was coming down and I was like, okay, the season's almost over, but shit happens so, like, the villain power up in that, the villains all powered up so much in that arc compared to how much Deku didn't do anything the whole season. It's crazy.
So I think the problem is, like, none of the villains powered up like at all since the was it the training camp arc? Like, a lot of them are pretty similar, and we've done like the end of the last season and the first half of this season was all, let's show how much class 1A and 1B are like expanding their abilities and powering up, and everyone's got new cool abilities and shit. What are the villains doing? And we kind of needed that too.
Oh,
Like,
Shigaraki's learning how to kill people from a distance.
villains that kill,
Checkmate, I guess.
2 thumbs up. Love that shit. I love when anime villains are actually threatening, as opposed to what's his face,
Killed
who
a
can
lot
turn
of
his
people.
stress into power.
Oh my
which-
god,
Which
Redestro.
which for our friend group would probably be the strongest quirk. But
Jesus.
either way,
Overall, weakest season by far.
Yeah,
Still
this
gonna go
season
see the
sucks.
movie.
I'm just here for the animation. Like, there weren't an insane number of hype animation moments this season. Like, honestly, off the top of my head, when Ida uses whatever his fucking engine burst is
that was
during like
so
episode 4,
random.
for some reason, it's the best animated sequence in this whole season, because I'm fairly certain that Yukata Nakamura went on to do most of the movie scenes instead of the show this
Which is
season.
why we have to go see the movie in theaters.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like, what cuts was he working on that he couldn't do anything during the normal season?
This shit's too funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, My Hero, I don't know. We'll report in a few weeks about the movie, but is it bad to say that if the next season doesn't draw me in, then maybe I just give up on My Hero?
It's fine to do. I've done it before. Like I did it with Boruto, where
Or like
once it's just
maybe
like, I'm
here,
not
how about
engaged in
this?
this, I'm just chiming in week to week.
How about this? If the season it comes out is like the Attack on Titan Vinland Saga kind of season, like I am not taking any time out of my life to watch My Hero when better shows are happening at this rate.
So here's what you can do. My other friend group will never give up on Hero Academia, so I'm going to be watching with them. If you want, I can give you the review at the end of the season on whether you should watch
I
it.
mean,
Yeah, I'll
like
take
we
that.
don't know anything about it. I'll probably be watching it because at various times I've had lots of free time to watch anime, but like I don't know. It honestly comes down to if me and Val want to watch it together. I'm probably not going to watch it alone. But if Val wants to watch it, I'll watch My Hero.
Yeah,
It's not
my
the
buddy reads the manga. In his words, he said the villain arc is the start of it getting good again. Because he said for a while he hated it. So I think reading the manga, it was the same kind of thing. He didn't like the school life shit. He was just like, Deku's not going anywhere. And then the villain arc is when they kind of like kicked it into gear.
Okay. I mean, I'll take it. Like I said, I still wish it was a longer arc and they hadn't spent so much fucking time with that 1A, 1B shit. But you
But
know
I
what
need
isn't
to.
shit?
What?
The
What
fact
isn't
that
shit?
we spent one of our movie nights. So since we were off, since we had one regularly scheduled movie night and one while I was in Virginia last week, we watched 2 movies since the last podcast for our Tuesday night boys movie night. And the first was literal classic anime movie Akira.
Ba ba. Yo, I love that movie.
I actually loved listening to the new dub because I forgot how many like big English dub voice actors in it. Like Ty from Digimon's the main character. I did not know that. I love hearing Joshua Seth in the few anime he's done.
This felt like a more cyberpunk, reasonable red line, especially with how that ending goes.
Yes, it was like if Redline was under control.
Yes, if someone was like, "Hey, you only have 2 years to make a red line, and it can't be too crazy, and it needs to be in
Also, it's the late 90s. Well, actually, when did Akira come out?
But other than that, that ending
wait,
is red line.
80s.
It was 88.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you need to
came
drop
out.
Redline, but the current year is 1988.
Dude,
but
how
it was
about
really
that
good.
hard predict about an apocalypse situation at the Tokyo Olympics?
Oh, a disaster before the 2020 Olympics, right? You
Dude,
can't write this shit.
literally, and it's so weird because when the Olympics came out, I was like, huh. I was really thinking, like, yo, where did I see Japan 2020 Olympics from? And then someone made the post, and I'm like,
Oh my
oh
god!
shit. Literally shitting bricks.
Aiden, have you seen Akira?
I watched it with you. What?
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't know
he
why I
was
thought. No,
there.
you know what? You weren't there for the other.
You were there for the next one.
for
I wasn't
My
there for
Cousin
My
Vinny.
Cousin Vinny. I was there for Akira.
So I think
So
it's
we
fair
watched
to
My
say.
Cousin Vinny.
So I think it's fair to say My Cousin Vinny is the better movie out of the two.
Wow!
Ouch, dude.
Damn,
Ouch,
damn.
dude.
Look at these Utes and their opinions.
No.
You know, I
Youths.
liked Akira. Like that was the first time I'd seen it, and Akira. I see why it is considered so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can see how it influenced
Yeah,
everything.
every anime after it. Yeah.
Can't have a bike scene without the slide.
Nope.
Dude, there's so many of those
The
slides.
fact that Reddit thread came out the day we watched the movie is so fucking funny.
A very strange coincidence.
For those who don't understand, the day we watched Akira, or like the next day or something like that, within
Yeah,
24
it
hours
was morning. I think it was like morning before.
morning before we watched Akira, someone posted a Reddit thread of here's all the anime scenes that have ripped off the motorcycle slide from Akira. And we're like, wow, this is cosmic that we're about to watch this movie for the first time.
Yeah,
But yeah, the other movie was
like it, or
Yeah, no,
Yes.
we all said it was really good.
So I find that when it comes to watching movies, if you're watching with a group, like the group reaction definitely can benefit or be detrimental to your viewing experience. And the first time I watched Akira, I was watching my brother who wasn't really into it, and then he fell asleep, so I had to stop halfway through. So like I was kind of whatever on the first hour that I saw like 10 years ago. So rewatching it, not really remembering anything, and watching with you guys, where it was pretty hype, I enjoyed the entire thing.
And then the Hammer of Dawn shows up, and it's like, whoa.
then the
this movie
Hammer of Dawn shows up.
I mean,
And you're like, oh, fuck.
I mean, now I want to rewatch it to see like what did I miss on the first real watch through.
I gotta say, Freeman, you can attest. It's not on the list of anything, and we have to move so much faster. But Vivi, I know I mentioned that while you and Valor was watching through Vivi, seeing all the shit that I didn't like,
You didn't realize in the first
didn't
watch.
realize
Yeah.
the first watch. I'm just like, wow, there's other stuff going on here.
Yes. I was sort of that way when we were briefly rewatching Kill la Kill, where there's little hints sprinkled at the beginning about what the major twist is going to be.
Kiru, Kiru.
So I love shows that are like that.
You know what else? You know what doesn't have any real twist? Well, it has plenty of twists, but My Cousin Vinny is.
My cousin Vinny. Yeah,
We're like
back to My Cousin
courtroom
Vinny.
drama.
So,
Oh man.
Tyler, as the person that was bullied into watching this because you'd never seen it before and you've seen every other movie on the face of the planet, what did you think of My Cousin Vinny?
Yo, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Your biological clock is.
Dude, fucking Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei,
Jesus.
yes.
There it is.
Oh my
That's why we wanted to
God.
show you this movie.
Lord have mercy. And the Karate Kid, Joe Pesci. You can't really go wrong. And then the judge that because while you guys were watching, this is mostly for the audience,
youths.
but the judge.
Utes.
My dad's like, oh hey, it's Herman Munster. I was like, yo, it is
It
though.
is.
Holy shit.
Nah, My Cousin Vinny is a really excellent classic comedy, and honestly, one of the best courtroom movies because they actually kind of go into the courtroom stuff a little bit, but they make
They
it
give like a loose
entertaining.
explanation of how it's supposed to go down, which most other movies don't like break down for viewers.
It's also great that it's not one of the most laugh out loud comedies. Like we definitely laughed watching it, and there's definitely jokes, but it's not like you're laughing 5 times a minute. They sprinkle them in, and a lot of things are like a chuckle, but they're intentionally. It's not trying to go for the most laugh out loud comedy. But overall, it's just really satisfying. So many of those scenes. How many fingers am I holding up? Let the record show that he's holding up 2 fingers.
Fingers.
Your Honor.
Your Honor. Oh.
And I can't remember her name. It's like Mrs. Something and only Mrs. Something. So many good lines. Freeman, are there many good lines in Decadence?
So unfortunately, I've
What the
only
hell is
watched the
this?
first episode, but I want to talk about this. So there's an anime that came, I think it was like 2 years ago. I wanted to watch, but was really busy at the time because all the promotional material made it look like this was going to be the next Gurren Lagann. So I was like, all right, I'll hold off on this. My buddy watches it. I'm like, all right, let me know if I should watch it. He's like, yes, watch this ASAP. Ashley, wait, I want to rewatch it. Let's watch together. And then that was the beginning of I don't want to say the downfall of our friendship. I'm still amazing friends with this guy, but now we hang out with so many other people. The two of us never have time to watch anime together. Like we've been stuck on episode 22 out of 24 of Higurashi for like 6 months now because just every time we go to hang out to watch something, someone will show up and we can no longer watch because they're not watching those shows. So we finally got around to introducing our group of friends to Decadence, where I was the one person in the room who were like, oh my God, this show was made for me. And everyone else is just kind of like, yeah, this is okay. And I'm saying like, no, you guys don't understand. This is Gurren Lagann meets Attack on Titan, but with the premise of Darling in the Franxx. It's a lot of cool concepts all mashed together in a really nice aesthetic. And episode 1 was pretty good. On top of that, villain is voiced by Dio, and I picked him out in 2 words this time. So I'm getting even better. But I'll report back midway through the season if Decadence is still good. It is one of those anime originals, so it could go either way. But overall, it's got like everything I like in a first episode. In terms of world building, action, characters. Yes, it's got everything. Did I sell you guys on it with that description?
I mean, this has been on my plan to watch list for a while.
Maybe. I realize I got a lot of things I need to watch. After yesterday, it was kind of an eye opener for me. Like a big eye opener.
Wait, what do you mean?
Do we want to
Tyler,
talk about it real
sure,
quick?
it's fun. So, Friedman, you've heard me say before, I wish there was a website for movies that was like my anime list.
Oh, that's what you guys were. You were like both tracking what movies you've seen.
Tyler found a website called
Oh, cool.
Letterboxd, and it's
Yeah.
that. And Tyler and I, for about an hour and 15 minutes yesterday, were literally just adding movies. I was rating every movie that I'd seen. Tyler was just marking
nice.
if he watched or wanted to watch them. I ended with... I sent Tyler a screenshot when I got off at 11:30. I had 300 some movies watched and 200 some on my plan to watch list. And and I think about 180 of mine I had liked because the site's cool in that you can mark things as watched, you can like them, and you can rate them. So I would mark plenty of things as watched, 4 stars, no like though, because I don't want to ever rewatch it. Like The Exorcist, I don't want to watch The Exorcist again, but it's a 4-star
like good
movie.
for one watch.
Tyler
I don't want to talk about how many
added
movies
a
I
few
have
more.
seen.
Did you break 1,000, Tyler?
I
fucking
did.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Tyler ended last night at 800 some, just to throw him under the
800.
bus.
Wait, plan to watch or seen?
Watched.
Oh wow.
To be fair, I have a ton more. I got tired and had to go to bed. But yeah, Tyler had a lot of movies.
I'm at 1,009 so far.
Nice.
And I'm like, man. And the thing is, I'm looking through a lot of these movies. Like, so my top, I have I put like my featured movies that I like. I put like John Wick, Bad Boys 2, Training Day, and Django. And I'm like, I've seen these movies, each of these movies, minimum 5 times. Like, Jesus. And I'm like, and then I was like, man, how much of my life have I spent consuming media? It's insane.
Tyler, why do you think I use my anime list? I want to see exactly how many days I've spent. And
Man,
for
sometimes
the record, it's currently at 238 and a half.
Oh shit, man. It's a lot.
The goal is to hit a year and then quit anime. We'll see.
And then quit anime forever.
Yep, that'll
Quit this
happen.
weeb shit.
Yeah, get out while I still can.
Oh, Freeman, I don't think you weren't there yet, but yesterday one of my Ohio guys, Brandon, messaged our group chat, and he's like, "Oh man, I just bought my new Radeon RX 6700 XT because I have 3,940 hours in Arc."
Oh wow,
it's pretty good. What do we say, Tyler? It's like 3 weeks or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But compared to Luigi's 2 months of WoW and Aiden's, I don't even know. We only know Luigi's old
all
numbers.
of my WoW time.
Yeah,
it's over a year straight.
How about all of the MMO time? That's a lot.
Probably a few years.
That's harder to track.
Probably a few years because I've played a lot of MMOs, and I also spoiler alert, I've been playing a lot of New World.
Oh snap! Well, actually, Luigi just messaged the boys our chat earlier. Apparently, he is getting into SWOTOR again.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's always been playing this.
He's bringing it up every once in a blue moon that he'll just start a new character and race through it.
Yeah, I can never get into SWOTOR, but to each their own.
But hey, we got that KOTOR remake coming.
Eventually.
Freeman,
One
you
day.
finally finished Slime 2.
Yes, and now I can finally whine about how they took away an amazing moment from Slime and turned it into everything I fucking hate about isekai anime.
What?
So I'll explain. So the second half of this season, Rimuru is now a god. God powers, nothing can touch him. At this point, I'm like, all right, we're doing that thing that anime does where it's the OP main character. We thought we had it for a bit, then we didn't, now we're back there. He's OP powerful. Let's go do something cool. Let's go meet the council of other OP powerful characters and see where he stacks up. And then you have this whole fight against, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank on this guy's name. Something man.
Who?
The main villain who's not really a demon lord. What the fuck was his name?
Wait, what? He is a demon lord.
No, he's not a demon lord. He's not a true demon lord.
Oh. Clayman.
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 I remember the end with man. I thought it was Clawman for a second. But point is, that whole fight is very cool. It seems like Rumiru's on the rocks, and then all of a sudden, the big reveal that Milim was never under his control, and Rumiru knew the entire time. Rumiru was never actually in any danger, and he was pretending to be in danger
Veldora
the
knew.
whole.
Rimuru didn't know. Rimuru
Either way.
thought it was real.
Either way. Well, no. There was a bit at the end where Rumor was like, "Oh, well, yeah, I knew too," and I couldn't tell if it was a bluff or not. But point is, it kind of invalidated a lot of.
No. I think he connected the dots and was like, "Oh, Raphael, that's why you couldn't break the spell. There was no spell to break." I'm pretty sure. Yeah, keep going. It's fine.
It invalidated a lot of what I liked going into this arc, where it was like watching Rumor legitimately struggle, and then it was just like, "Nah, man, the cards were in his favor the entire time. How could you ever think Rumor was going to struggle?" And it feels like it stole a win out of this character. Like it makes me almost not excited for the next arc because it's like, are they just gonna ass pull it again? Because like I was hoping with the whole Council of Demon Lords, like maybe we would get some like rivalries, or he's got to like now deal with people who are god level threats. But at like the end of it, it's like everyone's like, yeah, he's pretty cool. He's our friend now, which is kind of on brand for Slime. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, like it's just turning into there's no consequences, and I don't like that. And I really didn't like how they kind of ripped it out. Like with just the reveal that she wasn't under his control, in my eyes, ruined the arc. Like I went from really high to like, are you fucking kidding me? In a minute.
I guess that's valid.
Anyway, that was my only complaint. The rest of the show is pretty good. Veldora stole the show.
Oh yeah, all his shit with the Hadoukens,
Every
and the
rep.
Kamehameha.
Real quick,
funny.
so the episode where I mentioned you about him spamming the Hadoukens, it wasn't even just the reference. It's the fact that he's the kind of guy
Yep.
who he would see someone play Street Fighter and watch someone spam Hadouken, the cheapest shit you can do, go, yes, that's cool. I'm gonna do that. And it spoke volumes about his character. Anyway, we can move on. Oh no, they didn't announce Slime 3, they announced a movie, right?
No, they announced the movie.
All right, cool. That's what I just said. All right.
Oh, sorry. I thought I misheard.
So we're at least getting a continuation. So I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I am still super hesitant about how serious are they gonna treat the plot line.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm excited for the movie, but also like, I don't know. I want the show to get exciting again. The fighting was cool, but like, man, they ended Clayman way too easily.
Hold on. So real quick, my brother messaged me the other day. He's like, "Hey, I hear you always talking about the slime anime." So I tried to watch it. And I'm like, the only reason I talk about slime all the time is because I use it as an example of ridiculous show titles. That wasn't a recommendation for you. He's like, well, either way, I tried to watch it, but like, it's only, and in his words, it's only in Russian. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's only in Russian. He's like, yeah, every episode's only in Russian. You can't change it. And I'm like,
What?
are you watching from a mobile device cast? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, that's the problem. You clicked on season 1. You have to click on the 9th iteration of season 1 because that's the one that's in English. He's like, how do you know that? I'm like, well, I'm on desktop and it cuts off halfway through the word Russian. And so I can tell you the last one's the only one without a language next to it, so it must be English. He's like, wait, which one is that? I'm like, the 9th season 1 right before season 2. He's like, but is that the real season? I'm like, no. That season 2 is just the special episodes. The real season 2 is marked as season 3-season 2.
Freeman, it's so funny how we were just talking about how much a piece of shit Funimation's app is, and it's like Crunchyroll is also a huge piece of shit.
Yeah, they're
Dude,
both
Funimation's
bad.
So terrible.
Funimation actually updated their player. It's not any better. It's just different now. And I don't know why. Like, they removed the full screen button for some reason. Now the only way to full screen is double click on the video. And like, it's not the end of the world, but it's like why would you make that change?
Oh, before we get into real not anime things, oh my god, we still have so much left to go.
Oh no, there's still anime in here.
Well, I know. So, I've been talking about Realist Hero. This is the most 5 out of 10. I'll keep watching it because I kind of care. No one else needs to watch this show at all.
Wait, really? I thought you were hyping it up.
Dude, there is no animation in this show.
No.
Like, the final arc is a war, and there's like 30 seconds of actual animation.
Oh damn!
It's so bad.
They just like fall off a cliff.
It's like nothing. The fight scenes are the least fight scenes I've ever seen. But it's a cool concept to have, like, ooh, the hero who runs the kingdom instead of the hero who fights for the kingdom. So if you like the concept, I guess watch it, but go in with very medium expectations. The show forms a harem in 30 seconds. The show rolls over problems in like 30 seconds. Nothing feels that serious. Like,
it sounds a lot like what was it called? Geniuses Have It Hard in Another World or some awful title like that.
It's probably better than that terrible show was, but like, it's just whatever. Like I said, they announced another season somehow. I was shocked. I was like, this show is never going to get another season. There's like $5 put into this. But lo and behold, there's a Core 2 coming next year. It's so whatever. If the concept of a guy who gets isekai'd and is like, you're the king now, instead of go kill people, like, if that seems appealing, sure, give it a watch. But like, don't expect any kind. This will win 0 awards for anything ever.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what should win awards?
A movie.
No Time to Die. It's finally here. Tyler and I watched it together in the huge Dolby theater. It was $50 for us to go see a movie together.
Oh,
It
was
together.
pretty
So
great.
you
It
each
was
paid
worth
$50.
It was $25 a ticket,
Yeah.
All right, makes sense.
and it was worth it. What an absolute banger!
It was pretty fucking good. I'll tell you what, ladies and germs. From beginning to end, it was quite an experience.
So, what was the best part?
Oh, I know what
Like-
Tyler's gonna say, and I'd probably agree. Is it worth saying, Tyler? I don't think it's a spoiler.
You say it.
All right,
I don't-
Tyler's gonna
I
say
don't know.
it's Cuba.
Tim, why you gotta like
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I
into
meant more,
my
I meant,
heart like that? Like I was
No,
gonna
no,
be
no.
subjective.
I
or
meant more
objective about
abstract.
it.
Like, what was the best part of the movie? Was it just well directed? Was there like one
Oh.
scene?
Across the
Was it
board,
action? Was it music?
cinematography,
What was it?
Oh.
the action
Not like
stellar,
not like spoil the
cinematography.
ending for
No,
me because it's cool.
Freeman, Cuba isn't even halfway through the movie.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
The action is really good. The new characters are great. All the returning cast does an excellent job. Cinematography is excellent. The actual story is the most emotional a James Bond story has been, including Casino Royale, which is saying something for anyone who's watched the Craig movies, because they've been going for that emotional resonance since Casino. So here's an easy review. I still think Skyfall is probably the best across the board James Bond Daniel Craig movie. But this is the best send off to an actor playing James Bond ever, easily. But this is, like I said, the most emotional and emotionally invested James Bond movie ever, period. Also. But Skyfall is just a little bit better.
Shit.
It's really good. I also don't like how Tim called me out like that so easily. For the best scene in the movie.
I mean, like I said, I knew what you were going
Objectively,
to say.
there are some like
There's a lot of incredible scenes, but
a lot of good
I
scenes.
That one
knew
was just the best.
I knew you were thinking it.
Objectively, subjectively, Cuba has one of the best scenes, if not the best scene in the movie. But it's neither
all
here
really
nor there.
good. It's all really
You're just
good.
gonna have to watch what I'm talking about.
Definitely,
listeners.
if you've watched the Daniel Craig movies up to this, you are actively hurting yourself not watching this one as well.
Yeah, actually, it's good.
This one really wraps it all up better than Spectre did by a lot.
So get out there, go to the movies.
Speaking of more movies,
I
going
almost
back to
made
me.
almost made an awful Persona 5 joke. Anytime anyone uses the phrase "get out there," I think the opening song "Wake Up, Get Up, Get Out There." My brother and I will always reference that when someone says it out loud. And I almost said, "I'm like, damn, no one in here will truly." Actually, no, Aiden, you'd
I would
appreciate it. You're the only one who would. Everyone else would just be like, "Stop talking about Persona 5."
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
We've
can't
been
wait.
hearing about it for the last 6 years.
Dude, Persona 6 is gonna be so good.
It's so close. They're gonna announce Persona 6 any day now. Actually, for real though, Shin Megami Tensei 5 comes out in like a month, which means Atlas has to hype something else, which means we might get a Persona announcement. I don't know. But let's talk about the end of another big franchise. So it was last Wednesday, after enough procrastinating, Tyler and I finally got together to watch Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time, aka the fourth Evangelion movie.
What's
is
3
actually-
plus 4? 3 plus 1, it's 5. Let's go.
The worst part is like the fucking numbering. So like when 1 came out, it was just Evangelion 1.0. Then when it came out on DVD, it was 1.1, and then Blu-ray was 1.11, and that was their naming convention. But with this movie, they wanted to milk it in theaters because they still got hit by COVID when it was releasing, so they re-released it with more footage, special effects, some shit, and called it 3.0 plus 1.1. And these numbers just get so awful. I don't know what the Blu-ray number is going to be. Is it going to be 3.33 plus 1.11? Because they can't just call the
Yeah.
shit EVA 4. Anyway, the fourth movie, titled Thrice Upon a Time. Going into the movie, I turned to Tyler and I'm like, Tyler, do you remember what was happening at the end of the third movie? Because for
Yo.
context, it's been 6 years since this came out in the US. So we both look at each other, we're like, honestly, I'm not sure if I do remember. So we go and Amazon has like an official recap video for the movie. So we watched the recap and both of us were like, I don't remember that. So we started the movie by watching the last 30 minutes of the previous movie to remember where we were in the plot, which I'm glad we did because I didn't remember any of that.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
glad that we did that little refresher.
but then we watched the whole movie, and I I wanted to review it. There's two perspectives from it. From like you are watching a movie, how do you rate this? And in that regard, I'd say the movie was kind of whatever. It's very Hideaki Anno, where it's just I'm gonna throw a lot of symbolism at you, and I hope you get it, and I'm not gonna explain it.
Oh God.
But from an Evangelion fan's perspective, I think this was the perfect grand finale. They had so many really good callbacks to like the end of Evangelion and the last two episodes of Eva that were, controversial, but everyone loves them for one reason or another. A lot of characters explored from different angles. It didn't tie it up perfectly. Like the last scene kind of really angered me, but overall, I thought this was a great finale to the franchise, and I walked away feeling satisfied.
Hmm.
Now, Tyler, I want to hear your take on it.
I was like, I'm trying to like draw back on like what I like, because I was like, I remember giving. Oh wait, I think I gave it a score on my anime list.
Oh shit! Did I even rate this?
Like I think I want to say I rated it. I can't remember. But like I don't know, my sentiments are like pretty much the same. Like honestly, I thought it was better than End of Evangelion. Like
It felt like a modern take on it, and it did certain parts a lot better.
yeah. Did I think that it explained things a little bit better? I would only say marginally. I wouldn't say all the way. That being said, I liked it. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but I liked it. Um, Shit got fucking crazy. I don't like. I don't know if I like how. Like I'm fine with how it ended, Freeman, but how we were both like a little salty because Shinji ended up with somebody, and we were both like, "What is this bullshit?"
No. I'm not upset about that. The problem is if you look at how the timelines work out. So apparently the character. All right, can I just spoil? Are you guys
They
gonna
ain't
watch the
gonna
ending?
No.
watch this. They're not gonna watch this.
All right.
I am
All
never
right.
gonna watch it.
Anyone who hasn't seen Evangelion, skip ahead 5 minutes of the
Nope.
podcast. Um, So for the longest time, when original Eva came out, there were two main girls. There's Asuka and there's Rei, and fans drew a line in the sand and picked sides, and it was the first waifu wars. For this movie series, they introduced a new character, Mari, who is loosely based on the director's wife, which is why at the end of the movie, Shinji ends up with the new girl, which I hate
Yeah.
because every time Persona introduces a new girl, it's this. It's the new hotness, and nothing else
Old
matters.
and busted.
But but the
Well,
I
problem
what's the
mean-
new hotness?
the problem is, and they don't make it super clear, because Mari was introduced in a manga chapter that came out before the first Rebuild movie that explains her backstory, where she's apparently Shinji's parents' age, but for some reason she's no longer aging. That said, during this movie, while Shinji is still biologically 14, she is in her 40s, which makes their whole romance much creepier.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird Chris Hansen shit going on.
Yes. That said, it also turns out Asuka. So what we didn't realize is Asuka may have been a clone, but more importantly, she wasn't aging during the time skip. So she is still Shinji's age. So the FBI did get called on us for that one scene, Tyler.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, I liked it. Like at the end of the day, I liked it at least. What would I say? Oh yeah, I was entertained. Just like how my friend said when she came out of when she came out of No Time to Die, she was like, "Oh, I was entertained." I did like all the homages though to like original like OG Evangelion though.
Yeah,
That was
we
pretty
made
awesome.
we made a couple jokes at the beginning, like if someone chokes someone else, it's got to happen in this movie. I was joking, will Shinji jerk off onto someone? Is it going to happen? But
You
then
should have played bingo.
the
You should
last
have
one was,
played
are they
bingo
going
and
to
take
reference
shots.
the train from episode 25 and 26? And they did, and like we almost didn't notice it because they were so fucking smooth with the transition. I was like, wait a minute, it's the train.
Wait a minute. Literally, the only thing they were missing was Shinji jerking off on somebody.
Like so between
it.
that or literally anyone saying the word congratulations, like that was it. We would have finished the full bingo board if those two things happened. But
Yes.
everything else I asked for happened in this movie.
It was good. I think if like for the people who are Ava fans and like they've watched the movies, this is might as well just cap it off. Just finish it.
Yeah, it was definitely made for the original fans. Thank God Anno just wants nothing to do with this franchise again. 'Cause I don't know what
I was gonna
I
say
don't know if I could watch Evangelion 5.55. You cannot
again.
make sense.
I think what you said was right. I think the ending just symbolized Anno, just like Shinji is done with this, and so is Anno.
Listeners, if you still haven't seen this movie, I need to spoil the last plot point. So Shinji gets a chance to remake the world any way he wants, and he's like, I would make everything the same except I would get rid of the Evangelions. And we're sitting there like, this is the director saying that he just wants to get rid of this franchise.
I am okay with this world. I just don't. I want a world.
I just don't like
without
Evangelions.
Ava.
Get rid of it. It was hilarious when I realized that's what was going on.
We're like, wait a minute, hold up here.
All right, let's
All right,
stop
we
talking
have
about
to
it.
keep
We're
moving.
done with Evangelion.
There's
That was the
somehow-
end.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 more things to talk about, and we're at an hour and 50. We've been in watch
Fine,
stuff.
I'm gonna blow through this one. I read another book, everybody.
Yay!
Ooh, which one?
I wish I did that.
Second book in the Mercy Thompson series, Bloodbound. It's that girly version of Harry Dresden. It was
Cool.
alright. It's mostly just like these books are really just like junk food, more or less. Like you just blow right through them because they're like nothing. But I think it's okay. I don't know if I'll outright say I like these so far, but I'm not hating them. So like I don't know, I'm gonna keep reading them because it's like, oh, these are kind of interesting. Like I like urban fantasy stuff, so
How long are each of these books?
they're like 300 pages max so
Gotcha.
far. I don't know how much the later ones are, but so far these early ones are like pretty short. I'm expecting them to get longer though, like Dresden Files though. Because like I remember Stormfront being like sub 300 pages, and now like fucking Battlegrounds alone was like 400 plus pages of pure balls to wall action from cover to cover. But yeah, no, I'm interested in reading it. But I will say I know we're only supposed to like really talk about stuff we complete. But I started reading a Warhammer 40K book called Xenos. It's the first book in the Eisenhorn trilogy, and man, I'm not even halfway through the book, and this is a fucking banger so far.
Eisenhorn's pretty wild.
It's
As
pretty.
we discussed,
It's pretty.
I watched it. I read it a long time ago.
Like the opening is like it. The way they like Dan Abbott, the author, like he's like first chapter, he's like, I'm gonna tell you how I caught so and so, and then literally he catches so and so that like, they do like a whole like, oh yeah, he was the big bad guy, and it's like he's like, I've been chasing this guy for 8 fucking years of my life. I literally dream about this guy, and then he catch up to him, he kills him, and he's like, oh yeah, that was only the beginning. Now I gotta work backward from where he was and see the trail of destruction that he left. And that's where the story starts. I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. I like this. And he just gets into some wild shenanigans and just
Also,
keeps picking up a posse. Yeah.
the greatest quote of all time.
The greatest quote of all time. because I'm gonna spoil just a little bit. When he is chasing said bad guy, he is going through these like um where these like cryo chambers. I'm not gonna get into the lore of this planet because even that in itself is fucking crazy. But the bad guy literally releases over 1,200 bodies from these cryo tubes without being properly like medically like whatever, so they die, and everybody on the planet's pissed off and they want to like fucking you know wring Eisenhorn out to dry, and then Eisenhorn's like he gives his whole like explanation about like, oh, if it wasn't for me this whole planet would be fucked, so like you guys got to be grateful to me. And so everybody's like, yo, yeah, maybe you're right, we're bad, and then he's just um like something like, oh, my patience is limited unlike my authority. And I'm like, damn, that's
pretty
so
good.
badass.
Liner.
Yeah.
He's
the
got
fucking-
another one.
The Inquisition, dude.
He had another one-liner that I was like, yo, this is fucking awesome. So I took a short break just to read this book. That's it. I wanted that to be shorter, but okay.
You're all good.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Who put Death Stranding on here?
I did.
Oh boy.
I picked up the director's cut of Death Stranding.
What do you think
That
so
game, the game was made to be played on a PS5.
Hmm.
Like
far?
having the haptics and
use the vibration well.
the resistive triggers, like it completely changes like how the game feels to play. It's insane. Like they should have just released it for PS5. Like I actually think if they had initially if this was a PS5 launch title, people would have thought about the game differently because of how well like all of this is implemented into the director's cut. Like, it feels so good. Like being able to feel the weight of your cargo on the controller is just something that I can't understate.
Damn, maybe I should continue holding off on this game until I have a PS5.
Like, for sure. If you're gonna play Death Stranding, if you haven't played it and you want to play it on a PlayStation 5. It's the way that the game is made to be played.
All right,
Like
say no
that
more.
is my statement on that. So yeah, Death Stranding. Good shit.
Nice.
Moving on. League
Oh,
Worlds.
This
How's that going,
I,
Tim?
I just mentioned that Worlds has started. Play-in stage was pretty wild. Amazingly enough, NA has all three teams that Cloud9 managed to not fail to make it out of play-in.
Wait, they failed or they didn't fail?
No, didn't fail. They managed to successfully get into group stage, impressively
God.
enough. One of
Gotta
four
keep that
teams.
NA dream alive.
The one really cool thing is that after a really good showing last year where they didn't make it out of play-ins, the Japanese representative, such a small region, they only get one, they actually won their group for play-ins and automatically qualified and are in group stage now, which is really cool. But yeah, work's been slow this week, and my boss is out of town, so I've been able to mostly be watching League on my other monitor. It's been some pretty spicy games. Literally, yesterday was the day that everyone's like, Korea is going to win the whole thing, and then today was the day, oh my god, we're idiots. China is going to win the whole thing. It's like Reddit's a roller coaster every single day. It's hilarious. No, but it's really good. It's cool to watch Pro League again, and I'm excited to. We had the song come out. We all watched it a while ago. I think it came out on movie night, right? And we all watched Akira.
Yeah. Yep.
The new song's pretty okay, but the animation is fantastic on the video.
Oh, yeah.
It was shockingly good. And I'm excited to see what real musical number is revealed for finals. Unless we're not getting one this year, which would be really weird. After big KDA last year and all the ones that have been really cool for the past few years, getting these new music groups. No sign of any yet, though, so that's kind of disappointing. But there's plenty of Worlds left. I'm pretty sure we have like a month at least until Worlds is over. So, but yeah, League's happening. It's cool. Another thing that happened today is Back for Blood apparently came out today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I am currently playing it right now as we speak, actually.
Wow, I can't wait to play it eventually when we get a house so that we can do the LP.
Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. It is good, but they
But
fucked up. They fucked up. The the big complaint about Back for Blood when the beta happened, like what was that, like a month or two ago, 2 months ago? The
Yeah, about
jump
2 months ago.
the jump between difficulties was fucking brutal. Like easy was easy, and then veteran, which is their normal difficulty, was like you're straight into hard. Like I unless you were in a coordinated group, you weren't making it through veteran.
oh damn.
And now
Yeah, which is hard, dude.
in the release version of the game, for some reason they changed the way that specials spawn, so they spawn way more frequently now, which makes veteran almost unplayable as the medium difficulty in the game. Like there's your success in a match made group is going to be pretty shit. At least for like your average players. Like if you get like a god group, it'll probably be bearable. But I mean, I've tried to play veteran, and I used to be able to make it to Act 1, Part 3. So I'd make it to 1-3, but now I can't even make it through like 1-1
Oh
Jeez.
wow.
on veteran. So I don't know if that has to do with like
Your card
maybe I
setup,
need
maybe.
cards. Yeah, because I only have
So,
I only have like the starter cards right now. I mean, I've unlocked a few at this point, and I did just make a deck, but like I was doing that with the base deck.
yes,
For
listeners, you heard
perks. So
correctly. It's a deck building game.
it is a deck builder,
Wow.
yeah. But like it's really rough, and it's something that really needs to be addressed pretty soon. Like honestly, they might want to just add a fourth difficulty because like the curve is just way too intense, and
Damn.
it's even worse in the release version than it was in the beta. So yeah, that's Back for Blood, and my new MMO that I picked up is New World. So I've been playing. I've put in like 40 hours into that.
How is it overall? Because I'm thinking about playing it
It's
once the server wait times die down.
they're good now. Like the server wait times have pretty much evened
Oh, they're under
themselves
control
out.
now.
Yeah, I mean at least for the server that I play on, like I haven't. You might have like a 5 minute queue right now,
Gotcha.
during
That's
like
not bad.
peak times, but otherwise, you're not sitting in a queue of like 3 or 4 thousand people, like it was on launch. It's RuneScape. Like it's literally just RuneScape. It works the same way. Like all of your, if you want to get good with a weapon, you got to use the weapon and you level up the weapon. You want to level a trade skill, you just repetitively grind
You got
as
to do
much
the
shit
same
as
thing to
you
get better
can,
at it. Yeah.
and you yeah. But it's like it does the thing that I really wish more MMOs would do, and it's like don't restrict me to fucking 2 professions. Like
Oh,
you
let me do
have
whatever I want.
you have access to all of the skills and professions immediately, and like your only limiting factor is how much you decide to level those up. So that I think is good. The other my other big complaint about it right now is the faction imbalance is super real to the point where like I first started playing on one of the on a server where like my faction just had no territory. And it was pretty much like 90% of the population was Marauders, and then the other 10% was split up between Syndicate and whatever the fuck the other one is, the Yellow faction. And like, it's just not fun because of how ingrained like zone control is. like if you are part of the wrong faction and you try to fast travel somewhere, you're doubling the cost of your fast travel. If you want to craft anything in that town, like you have to pay infinitely more in taxes. Like it's just, it makes it kind of difficult to play your character if your faction isn't like a real faction. If you don't have the numbers to back it up, like you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was I just transferred because like we had no territory, and like I was just getting drained of resources every time I was doing anything. I tried to do anything. So I switched to a different server, and this one's about 50-50 between Marauders and Syndicate, but then like the third faction is just non-existent. So I don't really know how you could fix that. But that is just, that's definitely something that is going to plague the game for pretty much its entire existence unless they come up with some clever way of dealing with it. Because you know how MMO gamers are, we like the spreadsheets. So if it's not optimal, we're going to find the way that is optimal. And unfortunately, the way to play the game optimally is pick whatever faction is the largest on the server. So you just get into that catch-22. Overall, a good game though. Runs very well. For the most part. I mean, like cities are kind of a clusterfuck even for my computer. So
Oh, it starts lagging.
yeah, I mean, like not really lagging, but like it's got some performance issues where like even if I put everything on low in some of these cities, like I get like 50 or 60 FPS. I'm not 100% sure why. But that should not be happening on a 3900X and an RTX Titan. So
This is coming from the same studio that was bricking 3090s because they didn't cap
wow,
the frame
yeah,
limit on the menu.
true. Yeah, fair enough. But overall, I would say the game is good so far. Like I don't know, 7.5 out of 10.
Not
If
bad
you
for a
want
launch.
like yeah, if you want like an action MMORPG that has like RuneScape esque kind of structuring, like it's the game for you. um, so that's pretty much all I've been playing this week. But on my little excursion to Florida, I was introduced to Squid Games and The Way of the House Husband. So
Right, don't
I've been
spoil
watching
Squid
those.
Games. I'm only on episode 2. Right?
I'm only on episode 3, so
All right, cool.
I'm only on episode 5.
Damn.
okay.
All right, one day we'll all finish it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So
Someday
far
I'll
I
start
really
it.
dig. I really dig Squid Games though. So far it's very. I mean, it's just some wild shit. It's just some wild, wacky shit, which is
Yes, very entertaining.
and they actually dubbed it pretty well. Like, impressive. Some of the voice work is a little iffy, but I think it's good.
Gotcha.
Although
Just
I'm
watching
sure,
the original.
I feel like I'm the only peasant in here actually watching it dubbed. And yeah, I'm watching Way of the House Husband as well, which is fucking great. I love
I was
Way of the House
debating on
Husband.
starting. I know a lot of people really butthurt about the frame rate. Not frame rate. The lack of animation in the show, but
Yeah.
I think it was done intentionally.
The whole lack of animation, like it was what Tim was saying about what Realist Hero. Is that what? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same thing. Like nothing is animated. It's kind of just like still frames and like a camera pan.
Yeah, that was not
and
the
and that's
intention of Realist Hero, but it basically
yeah,
is.
that's how Way of the House Husband is animated. But like the show is just, it's a fun show, and it doesn't really bother me that it's not animated because it's not like an action. It's
It's
not
a
like an
comedy, right?
action of fighting kind of thing. Yeah, it's just a comedy about like an ex yakuza that is now a house husband, and all of the shenanigans that would ensue from that. And that's great. But that's really all that I've done.
All right, and then I get to close it out with a really short one. So I recently bought this handheld device capable of emulating games up to the PSP. I think that's the latest console does. But point is, I've always wanted to play a lot of the old Super Nintendo games. I didn't get a chance to as a kid because I didn't have one. So the first on my list was Super Mario RPG: Legend of the Seven Stars. and I'm about halfway through it. It's a lot of fun. It's like if you took Final Fantasy VI, but it just has a Mario aesthetic for some reason. Is the best way I can describe this. Overall,
A
pretty
good
cool.
one.
Listeners, if there's any cool Super Nintendo games you highly recommend playing, leave them in the comments. I'm looking for more stuff that I missed out on in my childhood.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Like a lot.
I know.
You know what?
I'm
There's a lot.
finally actually doing Donkey Country. Oh wait, sorry, Tim. Go for your transition there.
I was gonna say that there's been a lot of podcasts. This is the first one in a while. We're 2 hours 10 minutes, so I
Yeah,
think we
too
should
much
probably
podcast.
call it.
We should cancel this podcast
We
for
talk
at
too
least
much.
2 weeks.
There's a lot of stuff to get, a lot of content, a lot of content. Oh my god, I forgot one more thing.
Oh my god.
Oh
He's
my
going for the
God.
outro. We got one more.
I watched Venom 1 and 2 last week while I was in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Venom 1
That's
is a
right.
decent movie. Venom 2 has almost no reason to exist and is basically Venom 1 again, except less interesting.
Damn.
Damn.
Tyler, I think I told you, Venom is the most bloodless suit. It's like if Prototype didn't have blood. Is
Yeah.
a great way to look at it.
Yeah, and they should have made it an R-rated movie,
Like
but something
Venom
something.
being like, yeah, Spider-Man doesn't kill people. Venom, like when Venom bites a guy's head off and they have to show it off screen every time, you know there's something wrong with this movie.
Damn.
Like just
Yeah,
kind
like
of
they're pretty
disappointing.
gratuitous with it. Like
And
like
the pacing in the
you could-
first one's weird, and
yeah. Like, you
This-
could tell that really should be like a more gruesome movie, but
yeah,
like
there is
they
cool
cut
stuff.
it
Like the
down.
way Tom Hardy acts off of Venom is pretty neat, but the pacing in the first one is like really inconsistent. And then honestly, Carnage is like even worse because I mean, you guys have seen the trailer. Woody Harrelson turns into another symbiote who has like he cuts helicopters in half, and yet it's literally no blood, nothing serious anywhere. Like
Yeah, that's
it's
disappointing for a movie with Carnage in it.
yes, it's even, and like they kind of do the same thing with Venom again, where it's like Tom Hardy and Venom are like going through a breakup. Isn't that kind of funny?
Nope.
It's just kind of strange, but they have a stinger for something cool at the end of the movie, which was fun. But yeah, overall, I would not recommend anyone else pay to go see Venom in theaters or Carnage in theaters. The first one was fun, but seeing them close to each other, I was like, man, this is the same movie again. It really is.
damn.
And with that, we're actually done. So, assuming I don't get sucked off to Virginia suddenly again, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Maybe.
But thanks for listening, everybody. I know there's a lot, but there's a lot of content we got to discuss. But until next time, my name is Timpedia.
Friedman.
Just Tyler.
The AIDS Man.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.